Expo Center has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today. Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
McValue meals are here. Get the McD's you love for $5 plus tax every day with your choice of a McDouble, junior chicken, or chicken.
That's tough in terms of that momentum. You're not capitalizing on your chances.
Here come the Canes on a breakaway.
Availability varies. Prices excluded.
Come the Canes on a breakaway. Score! Nikolai Ehlers.
Canada's Medical Clinic is opening clinics across Canada to allow everyone to
Is
have
that
a doctor.
the dagger
to
here
call
in
their
Game
own.
3?
Early detection saves lives. We've got some great news. You can call now and book an appointment with your new doctor. Canada'sMedicalClinic.com.
Caruso. Hits Wallace. Kills us Alexander now against Kennard. His jump shot is good.
Praised as magnificent. In the comedy trenches takes its final bow.
When you're away from the spotlight, you have time to think about what really matters.
And you can only stream it on Crave.
The spotlight!
Starring Emmy Award winners Judy Smart. Season. Stream it.
For Diablo boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Area Adjusted and Red Wing made in China when Canadian made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Join play-by-play announcer Ben Showman for the game live on Sports 1440. The Toronto Blue Jays are on Edmonton's home for all things sports. Sports 1440. The Jason Gregor Show.
Come the Canes on a breakaway. Score! Nikolai Ehlers. Is that the dagger here in Game 3?
On Sports 1440.
Caruso. Hits Wallace. Kills us Alexander now against Kennard. His jump shot is good.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Another turnover. Jenkins is foul.
To the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Also, you can get us on the TuneIn app. That's a big announcement coming up about that a little bit in the near future. So we look forward to that. How you doing? It's Friday. The weather's going to be great. It's looking like a good weekend in advance for all the ladies out there who will hopefully have a fun Mother's Day. Gentlemen, kids, be sure to remember, treat mom well. She's done a lot for you, I hope. And if you are uncertain of what the hell you're supposed to do because you forgot, remember, here's my recommendation on where you should go for Mother's Day. If you like brunch, who doesn't like brunch? I love brunch. I don't know about Connor Halley, but I love brunch. So check out hallobarbistro.ca. They've gone there many years. It's at the hotel at the airport. It's kind of out of the way, but it's unreal. And the parking's right there. It's included, so you'll love it. And there might be a spot available, so check it out, hallobarbistro.ca. And happy in advance Mother's Day to all the moms. So there you go. Coming up on the show today, we got lots and lots to discuss. NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs. We will we'll also get to the Oilers a little bit later on because, of course, they're not in the NHL. They're not in the NHL playoffs. I was going to say they're not in the NHL, but no, they're not in the NHL playoffs as we speak. I've seen some reports that people think, they're going to make a coaching change. I've already got text people coming. Greg, are they making the coaching change this afternoon? No, they are not. There's no press conference today, and I'm not sold they're making a coaching change. Stan Bowman's evaluating. Smart thing to do. Personally, I would say that making another change would be, I've been there, done that. They're going to do the exact same thing. You know what? Let's blame the coach. Because that seems what a lot of people, coach, goalie. Coach, goalie. They're the only ones that do anything wrong. That's the ones who should get fired. It had nothing to do with the entire team not playing well all year long. It was only the coach. Now, could the coach be better? Yes, the coach can be better. But you had a coach who went to back-to-back Stanley Cup finals. So you think he did nothing? He just stood there and added nothing? And now on an off year, let's get rid of him? That's okay if people want to do it. I just think it's I'm not a big fan of always blaming the coach. That's all. I just think it gets lazy for me. I think it's just not good. So I wouldn't do it. Doesn't mean you can't look. Now, I don't think the whole coaching staff's coming back. But that I wouldn't do. I think it's too much of the same old. You're giving the built-in excuse again to your players. It's not you. You're okay. We're going to get another coach in. And you know what? You're going to say, geez, we feel bad. Obviously the coach getting fired. I've heard that same thing from the players every time. He's a nice guy. We liked him. Feel bad. He got fired. All right. Well, do you feel that bad? Or are you just numb to it now? Because it's happened so frequently. I'm sorry. I don't buy it. Yes, the coach didn't have his best year. Neither did a lot of the players. Not going to fire all them. So try something different. Because I've seen this movie for the last decade in Edmonton. And Chris Knobloch has been the most successful coach you've had in a decade. 2 Stanley Cup Finals appearances. Good regular season record. Even with this past season being meh, he's still got a really good winning percentage. So I wouldn't do it. No press conferences called. So don't buy into any suggestion that there is. I haven't seen anybody suggesting that there will be. They'll evaluate. They'll go from there. I think there would be changes to the coaching staff. I know everybody's in love with Bruce Cassidy, and that's great. But to me, you change the coach, you change nothing. Because we've seen them get a new coach, have a new coach bump, and then eventually they revert back to the same team. It's in their DNA. It's in their DNA. They cannot, because it's not, I shouldn't say they will not, because they can. We've seen them play good defensive hockey for stretches. But they will not do it continually. That's just their teams. Like when we talk about an identity, that's the Oilers' identity, unfortunately. They can't commit to doing it. Now, Maybe you'll say, oh, this coach is going to come in and he's going to be the one who's, and maybe he will be. But what do you base that on? How do you know? So all the other coaches never tried to instill a defensive system and never asked the players to do it. And then when they did do it, do you think he said, oh, you know what? Guess what, guys? We did it, but we don't need to do it anymore. Do you honestly think the coach said that? So why did it stop? Do you think the coach stopped coaching it? Or did the players just stop doing it? You decide. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Tonight, $70 million, 10 max millions, and 70 prizes of $100K. That is, that's not bad. That is a total of $87 million. So get in. Good luck. Hope you have your winning number on a positive Friday. Coming up on the show today, we will have, Connor Halley's going to join it. Well, he's right here right now, but we're going to get to the comment a little bit later on. Joe Yerdon's going to be by the Sabres. Big win in game 1. Can they repeat it for game 2? Justin Rankin had himself a hell of a year last year. What's he looking for repeat performance? How does the revamped offensive line help him? Different play calling. What does Rankin, who is, I think, without question, the Elks' best player last year, what's he do for an encore? So we'll talk to him. We got John Ehlers will join us, setting up that Anaheim-Vegas series. Got the 2-minute warning with Tater, Craig Button, Spec, LT. We'll get to our stats of the day. We got a few doozies for you today. It's nice. Also, Wanye Gretz will be by. The Fernando Tatis stat. I'm just telling you. Ooh, mama. What the hell's going on? Connor Halley, happy Friday. How you doing?
Happy Friday. Doing really good, Jason. Beautiful day in the city. Nice to get out here. We'll drive around with the windows down and lots to discuss when it comes to those Oilers and more.
Well, yeah, there's lots going on. CFL training camps will kick off on Sunday. The medicals are tomorrow, but on the field on Sunday across the CFL, the Elks and every team in the league has to get down to 75 roster players by Tuesday evening. So you'll have basically three practices, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then you got to make 10 cuts. Now, remember, though, that draft picks do not count. So the Elks haven't signed all their draft picks just yet. They got a few at NFL camps. And Newell, who was drafted last year but did not play, this is his first camp. He's also a non-counter. So they actually have, right now, I think they have 85 players plus they have 85 counters plus the non-counters. So they'll have to get 10 players off by Tuesday evening. So, hey, Gregor, maybe there's just too many nice coaches. Would you change your mind if Cooper and Cassidy can get the guys out of their comfort zone? Well, Klaus, how do you know that? I know it's easy to just say they'll do it, but do you think Todd McClellan has never been hard on his players? Dave Tippett was a defensive-minded coach. So you think all these guys are soft? Ken Hitchcock is a soft coach? Come on now. The answer's right in front of you. It's not just the coach. It's never been just a coach. Has a coach at times played a role? Sure. It's not just a goalie, right? The 4 most used goalies in the last decade all had a save percentage of 904 or higher. And everybody still said the goalies were terrible. It's always the goalies. Could the goalies have been better at times? Sure. But is it never on the play? Do the players never have any accountability? It's just the coach and the goalies. That's it. No one else, ever. Right? Well, Darnell Nurse, a lot of people, let's blame everything on Nurse. So it's the coaches, it's the goalies, and Nurse. Everybody else, perfect. They've never had a problem. They were all good this year. All good. Did we watch the same games? Because I sure didn't. If that's what you come away with at the end of this year, is that coaching bad, goaltending bad, Nurse bad, everything else, arrows up. No, it wasn't. So I get that people feel like if you change the coach, I know how your mindset is. It's like, if I change the coach, now everybody's got their attention. You know what? We're going to be ready to go. Sure. Right? Ask people who get divorced. Is it automatically? Now, some divorces are great. Not all. You just marry same person, different name. Right? You have different coaches. Now, Knobloch's actually had the most success. None of the other guys got you to the Stanley Cup final. This guy got you to 2 Stanley Cup finals. He wasn't the only reason, but he sure had a part in it. But now, after 1 year where it's not a great year, and then you have key injuries in the playoffs, you get knocked out of the playoffs, like, well, let's fire the coach. Like, it's amazing. All it reeks to me of and would scream zero loyalty in an organization. The minute something goes wrong, we got to get a scapegoat, man. We got to get a scapegoat. Right? It's like, why is all of a sudden, like, the thing that stood out to me at the year-end pressers, the conversations, people brought it up, someone within the organization of, oh, play Draisaitl and McDavid together. Now, why did that come up? You could think about it and look and say, hey, is it better? But I asked the question, why? Why do your 2 best centers have to play together? No other team in the NHL can come out and have 2 centers like that. They can't. Now, did Pittsburgh win 3 cups in 9 years with Crosby and Malkin running their own lines? Yes, they did. Now, the Penguins weren't a dominant team. And in fact, in their 2 combined playoff runs in 2016 and 17, Sidney Crosby actually got outscored at 5-on-5. The first year he got outscored 18-16. Then the next year he outscored them 18-17. So it was 35-34. They weren't a dominant team, but they didn't give up a lot of goals. That was the thing. In 2016, their goals against average was 2.29. In 2017, it was 2.28. And don't say, well, they had Marc-Andre Fleury. Marc-Andre Fleury wasn't the main guy. Right? They had a young Matt Murray. And what's Matt Murray's career done after that? He wasn't a great goalie, but they played really good defense, and he looked pretty damn good. Kind of like in Chris Knobloch's first year when the players committed, okay, we're tired of it. We're going to play good team defense. So for 69 games under Chris Knobloch, the Oilers were first in the NHL in points. Stuart Skinner had the most wins. He was 4th goal saved above expected. He was 5th in goals against average and 7th in save percentage among starting goalies. Now, I don't think anybody's going to sit here and say that Stuart Skinner is an all-star goalie. But when the team in front of him committed to team defense, they were pretty good. Right? They were pretty good. Look at last year in the Cup, on the way to the Cup. Hey, guys, we sleptwalked through the LA first few games, and even the games 3-6, they weren't great defensively. Skinner comes back in, combination of him playing well and the team saying, we're not giving up a ton against Dallas and Vegas, and boom, your numbers go down. Shocking. It's not just one goalie, because even when you have a great goalie, if you don't play good team defense, Connor Hellebuck gets lit up worse than Stuart Skinner. At what point is the organization and many of the fans who clamor for the goalie ever going to realize a lot of it comes down to most of it to the defensive system? Yeah, you need your goalie to make a few saves. Sure. But you need to commit and limit high danger chances. You have to. Right? Your goalie's going to steal your game. Stuart Skinner stole him a few games. He did. Right? He won 1-0 games. Won 2-1 games, getting outshot 34-10. Now, you didn't expect him to carry you every night. And nowhere in the Oilers' payroll ever has a goalie been paid to think he's going to carry you every night. Not getting paid $10 million, not getting $6 million. Tristan Jarry's the highest paid goalie he's ever had. Now, we can debate if that was a good decision or not till the cows come home. But I'll tell you, if you play better team defense, you got a way better chance. But people will settle again, and it's because it's the same thing. And to quote the oh man, what is his what was his name? The English poet, Lord Byron. I'm pretty sure it's Lord Byron. And what was his quote? I think from like the 1800s. The best prophet of the future is the past. And that's what it is for the Oilers. until they decide to change what has been repeated in different ways for basically the last decade, different coaches, get better defensively, be more consistent on the penalty kill. Right now, the 1 year the penalty kill was great. They got to the cup final. The next year they got to the cup final, the penalty kill was bad at 67.1%. So you don't always need it to be great. I don't expect it to be 94.3%. But how about, do you know how many seasons the Oilers have finished with penalty kill? Like any of those coaches, they had one coach who during his whole tenure, start to finish, had a penalty kill of over 80%. Dave Tippett. That was it. Now, Chris Knobloch's very close, 79.2, and he had a great run. That they were 82% his first year, which is 69 games. It was 82. That season was 82%. In the playoffs, they went nuclear. Great. But for the most part, and if you go back and even look in the Anaheim series, there were 3 goals where the system wasn't what the letdown was. It was the player decisions that led to the goals against. And I understand players are going to make mistakes. Okay, you're going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. But I just think I'm done suggesting that, change the coach, change the goalie, everything's going to be all right. Like Bruce Cassidy's a magic worker, right? He's going to come in here and everything's going to be great. All right. Do you know what the penalty kill was in Vegas with Bruce Cassidy? The exact same 78% as from the time he started in Edmonton, in Vegas, till the time he left, theirs was 78.7%. Edmonton's power play penalty kill in that time was 78.3%. Identical. Now, different players, different coaches, different teams. So you could fire the coach if you want to. You could bring in Bruce Cassidy. And I'm sure the team will respond like they have in the past early on. Oh, geez, we've got to be in our best behavior. And then slowly it erodes. So maybe they'll finally figure it out. Maybe they will. But ultimately, ask anybody at any level who coaches. Do players impact the results more than any coach will? You can have the best system. If the players don't implement it, doesn't matter. And until this group decides that they are going to commit to being good defensively, it's going to be a problem. That's their identity. It's what it is. Inconsistent defensive team. Good offensive team, inconsistent defensively. They've had stretches of good, but as I've said before, you show me a team that is better at gifting goals than the Edmonton Oilers. Just show me one. Because, man, I got a highlight reel that I would put up against any team in the league where I would come away confident that when push comes to shove, no one can play Santa Claus on the ice better than the Edmonton Oilers. Though sometimes they'll be like, hey, you know what? We're going to be the Grinch. We're done. We're gonna take it back. But then eventually they soften up. Even the Grinch, like in the movie, softened up. And they give it back. That's what they do. Take a quick break. We'll return to the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
New at Papa John's, the spinach Alfredo chicken tomato pizza. Say it with me now. Spinach Alfredo sauce, grilled chicken, fresh Roma tomatoes, all on our fresh, never frozen pizza dough. 4 favorites, 1 pizza. So let's run it back. The spinach Alfredo chicken tomato pizza. Right now, a large for just $18.99. Delivery or carry it. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is your supplier of maximum comfort, bringing you the cool AC you need. You just have to
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
For comfort at night when the hot air suffocates you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
For comfort in your wallet with no payments or interest for 1 year.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
You deserve comfort. Cool off today with AC from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
This is you.
Hi.
And your cornhole team needs money.
Yeah, we do need money.
Plus, you've tried every fundraiser under the sun.
No kidding. And no one's buying my Cuban salted chocolate.
Scrap the chocolate and fundraise for your team, club, or charity at On the Rocks. Here's the deal. We'll create custom tickets for your event, which includes no cover, no line, and beverage before 10 p.m. Then you sell your tickets and keep all the profits.
That sounds easy.
It is. Fundraisers at On the Rocks. Book, party, cash. OnTheRocksYEG.com.
Struggling to find skilled workers? What if you could fill your talent pipeline with motivated, pre-vetted youth and receive funding to support your efforts? At Careers The Next Generation, we connect Alberta employers with interns in skilled trades, IT, agriculture, forestry, and more. All WCB covered, high school accredited, safety trained, and ready to contribute from day one. With 83% of RAP students continuing their apprenticeships after high school, investing in youth today means securing your workforce for tomorrow. Don't wait. Visit careersnextgen.ca to get started.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Summer is calling. Is your vehicle ready for the road trip? Get ready for the season at Nisku Ford with offers that turn up the heat. Right now, you choose how you save. Finance your new vehicle with rates as low as 0%. Or choose massive cash rebates as high as $12,500. Whether you're hauling the boat or packing up the family, we have the Ford you need for your summer adventures. Start your summer upgrade at niskuford.ca. Nisku Ford, above expectations.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Mortgages to Go. Need cash and have equity in your home? Mortgages to Go has you covered. When the bank says no, they say yes, and they've been doing it in Alberta for over 23 years. Call 1-888-888-5998 or visit mortgagestogo.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Continues on. How are you, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. Hope you're having a lovely day as the NBA, NHL playoffs continue on tonight through the weekend. Of course, the Ducks tied Vegas 1-1. They're looking to go up 2-1 tonight on home ice. And game 2 of that Sabres-Canadian series gets going. And Montreal, they better find a way to get their offensive guys going, and they're going to be out of that series very quickly. How about Cole Caulfield, 1 goal in 8 games. Demidov, no goals in 8 games. Slavkovsky, remember he started game 1 of the playoffs, had a hat trick, all in the power play. Sick game. Since then, no goals. So that's 3 of your top 4 forwards who have no goals and have 1 goal combined in the last 7 games. It's just hard to win in the playoffs when your best guys aren't producing. You can maybe have 1. You got 3. It's going to be tough. Unless you think that Dobush is going to stand on his head like he did in that Tampa Bay series, it's going to be really hard to win. So they got to find a way to get some offense. Alex Line, I thought, was solid in game 1, and the Sabres were very timely in their scoring. The power play 2 for 3 after being 1 for their previous 46 in the regular season and playoffs, went 2 for 3, and they scored 4 goals on 16 shots. They would obviously, and the good news for the Sabres is they got a much better game left in them. I don't think they had a good game, so that they will look to play better tonight as we go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. And stop in at McD's. Of course, Big Mac, Filet Fish. They just want to thank everybody who stopped in for McHappy Day, as huge money raised, lots of money going to the Ronald McDonald House. So I'll get the official number hopefully by the end of the show today to tell you how much you helped out raise, because that goes to a fantastic cause. It's one of those places that, you know what? It's an awesome place. You just don't want to be there. But when you are, you're thankful that it's there. It helps out to all the families whose kids are usually at the stollery going through just an awful time. So great for all of you who helped out on Wednesday. As we go out to Buffalo, Joe Yerdon from the Bleacher Report, longtime beat reporter of the Sabres, joins us. And Joe, great news for the Sabres. They win game 1, and I think they probably feel like they got a lot of game that can improve, a lot of areas of their game they can improve on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Certainly the shot totals were not overly encouraging. And, you know, the fact they got 4 goals on their first 9 shots probably made John Cooper grind his teeth a little bit seeing that. But it was an effort where every chance they had was a grade A, but they gave up a ton of them to Montreal early. They settled down late in that game, but overall, that's a game that they could be a lot better, and come away winning at 4-2 is a pretty nice result considering.
So you look at their power play, which had been wild. It had been 1 for the previous 46. Now, I guess the good news was they'd actually scored late in that Boston series to end the drought. But did their power play do anything specifically different against Montreal to lead to those 2 goals?
Not exactly. Their first unit was not very good. And the second unit, which provides a bit of a changeup as far as how they attack it, how they run it, and obviously the people on it are a little bit different. I think that gave them the opportunity to kind of change the look a little bit, because when you've got Dahlin and Thompson and Tuck and Zucker and those guys out there, you're thinking, all right, well, we know who it's going to be. One of 2 guys probably shooting it, but when it's Byram and Doan and Benson and McLeod and those guys, and you're looking at it like, all right, who's the shooter? Well, Quinn's probably the shooter. Okay, well, I don't know. Sometimes it's Doan. Benson can do stuff. You don't really know what you're getting from those guys. So when it comes to attacking it and trying to defend it, it's a whole different deal. So what they were able to take advantage of were Montreal mistakes on the PK. Guy slips up, guy makes a mistake with the puck. Things like that, they were able to take advantage of, where, just getting into the zone was a big problem for the first unit. So I don't think they've solved anything just yet, but scoring on the power play period is a huge bonus for them, because it's something they haven't done. They hardly did it in April, for crying out loud. I mean, the fact they got some here is a huge lift for them.
Yeah. You look at the blue line in Buffalo, and I was looking at the numbers and matchups in game 1, and there really wasn't any real hard matchup. Even on their D line, on their blue line, they pretty much split evenly between the Dahlin pair and the Byron pair going up against the Suzuki line. Like, it was virtually almost to the second identical, and then the third pair got like 2 minutes. against them. So Lindy Ruff wasn't really looking for any. I even looked at forwards. Like there was no specific, oh my God, I need this matchup in game one.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, it's a luxury having the top two pairs that they do, because those are four really good defensemen who are having outstanding seasons, who are just, playing at the top of their game, all four of them. And when it comes to defending, I mean, they're so strong in their own ends that getting those matchups, you can try to. I mean, Montreal is kind of helpless on the road with the matchups, obviously, but when it comes to how Lindy wants to run things, he's able to be a little bit. He can mix and match if he wants to. He can kind of trade things off if he needs to, but he can just roll those pairs out whenever he wants to, and it works. Just because those guys play so well. And obviously, I mean, Dahlin's having an incredible season, and you've got Byram, who's having an outstanding playoffs. Power and Samuelson are both excellent defending, so it gives those other two guys the freedom to be more offensive. But when it comes to shutting down, Suzuki and Caulfield and Slavkovsky, any of those four guys provide a really solid counter to them, because they all play great. It's amazing sometimes when things work out after so many years.
Yeah, a long time for sure for the Sabres. And even it's funny how 25 games into the season, they were off to a really slow start. Obviously, worst team in the Eastern Conference. And then, boom, everything kind of clicked when they fired the GM, even though he was the guy who basically built the entire roster. Wild enough. Speaking of that, Sam Carrick, where's he at? Is he going to be available tonight?
He's, I think Lindy said he's on the cusp of returning. So I don't think we'll see him tonight. Tyson Kozak played a really strong game one. So I think he's earned that opportunity to get back out there for game two. But he's real close. He's, the face-off numbers have been pretty bad for Buffalo in the playoffs. And Carrick is a huge help on that. But Kozak handled his business well. He helps Greenway get that goal later on in the game by shoving the defenseman right into Dobesh's face and making it work. So I think this is a case where they've got the home matchups. They can figure it out with Kozak, and maybe Carrick's a better fix on the road because he's a little, he's got that savvy. They're gonna need the face-off wins and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, I think they need him, just tenacity, everything else. But they've been getting contributions from everyone, which is what you need. Alex Lyon, you expect them to ride him the rest of the way, or do you think, because he's not a guy who played 2 months straight as a starter, like he's never really done that. Like I just wonder if you're in Buffalo, would it be wise at some point just to give him a game off, just because he's never been an everyday guy for 4 rounds?
It's the way the situation is with the goalies this year is so interesting because they've done it so untraditionally compared to how anybody likes to do goaltending, where it's you got a number one and then your backup handles everything and then you go from there. Luukkonen and Lyon have both been like 1A, 1B, and they've been able to make that work all season. And, granted, it was a little bit busy in that room, the goalie room early on in the year when they were running 3 guys, but it's the kind of thing where I think Lyon's got enough leeway where he can do things and he can take care of business. But if he gets cold or there's an issue, you don't really need to sweat that out too much because you can pop Luukkonen in there and you can pick it up right where he left off. I mean, think of how good Luukkonen was after the Olympic break.
Yeah.
And he was just incredible. And then towards the end of the regular season, Luukkonen was outstanding there. He had earned the starts in game one. Game two obviously goes really sideways, but he had earned that start. But switching to Lyon wasn't a big deal. I mean, sure, it's a letdown for Luukkonen, but in the grand picture of it, that's the way they've done it all season long. So I mean, it's very uncharacteristic to what we're used to seeing, because usually when you see a team switch goalies in the playoffs, that's a warning sign that things are about to go really bad, and that has not happened here.
So do you expect them maybe at some point in this series or later, if they go deeper, to switch back to Luukkonen?
I don't think Lindy really wants to do that. I think it's going to be Lyon until Lyon, maybe shows some cracks, and maybe a switch back. But Lindy's obviously a lot more comfortable with running picking one guy and going from there. But I mean, it's so funny because if things go sideways tonight and they drop this game, you can see Luukkonen in game 3. That's always possible. But I think Lions earned a little bit more rope here where, if he has a slightly off night, you don't need to make that change. But I mean, obviously you don't have a lot of time to figure stuff out in the playoffs. But when you got a 1-0 cushion, that helps out right now. If it gets to 2-0, then I mean, hey, you can kind of play it a little bit looser from there.
And Joe, if you look at the goaltending situation, because you got Lyon, you got Luukkonen, and you also have Devin Levi. What is he ready? Do you think for the NHL? What would their offseason look like? Do they want to keep him as the young guy? They're going to move from someone. What do you think happens in goal? Because it seems like they got too many.
It's they've got Devin Levi and they've got Colton Ellis as well. I mean, Ellis kind of took Levi's position there in the pecking order when they got him on waivers. But I have to think something's going to give there with somebody. I would imagine the Blues would love to get Colton Ellis back. I imagine there's a few teams out there that would love to have Colton Ellis be part of their tandem in the NHL. But Sabres are playing from a hand of strength here. Like they can kind of do things however they want to. I mean, they've got Lions locked up for another year. Luukkonen's locked up, slightly long term, and Ellis and Levi are both like stupid young. It's a nice problem for them to have after sweating out goaltending for so long and wondering, when was Luukkonen going to take a step? When was Levi going to be the guy? When's he going to take that number 1 spot away? And now everything's changed. Kevin Adams, I think if Adams was still here, Levi might have gotten his push through. Maybe last year, this year, I don't know, but I think I know for sure Lindy Ruff does not like having to deal with goaltending questions and issues. So the quieter it is, the happier Lindy will be, and I imagine that's the same for Yarmo.
And lastly, Joe, just it was 14 long years where the Sabres were out of the playoffs, and we've seen the excitement. I can only imagine it's just building. Can you describe just what it's meant for the Sabre fans to not only be back in the playoffs, but to actually be winning?
It's just getting back to the postseason kind of awakened everybody's inner Sabres fan, because the feeling the last few years was, if you just get there, everybody will start to come back. And boy, has that been proven true. It was the simplest solution to fixing the attendance issues and everything else that was going on while they were losing was like, just win. Al Davis was always right. Just win, baby, and everything will be fine. Once they started winning, I mean, they sold out, I think, the last 15, 17, 19 games of the season. And it was just taken off from there. I just drove in, just pulled into the arena. We got fans on the deck above me that are cheering for the players as they park and walk in the arena. We've got, fans have got flags all over their houses, flags on their cars, everywhere. I've never seen this much outward support for the Sabres since I've been here since 2013. I've never seen it like this. And this is just how it is. If you win games, you get to the playoffs, everybody's excited. And people love a winning hockey team, and this team's a lot of fun to watch. So fans are getting a double dose of what it's like to have the good times rolling again.
Yeah. Well, Joe, enjoyed it. It should be fun. We'll see what happens tonight. And the Habs, they got to get some of their top guys going offensively. They're going to have a tough time getting back in this series. Appreciate your time.
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
There you go. That's Joe Yerdon joining us from Buffalo. When we come back, when you're the best player on your team, how do you build on that the next year? Well, we'll find out next on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions, take one for Gene Principe. Hey, thanks for being on time.
I'm always punctual. Now, how about some cool beats while I drop the heat?
Ready when you are.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Nice.
Boom! I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's going to love this for AC season.
What's not to love with no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year?
Are you always like this?
Yep. Unlike Legacy, I never know when to cool it.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
New at Papa John's. The spinach Alfredo chicken tomato pizza. Say it with me now. Spinach Alfredo sauce, grilled chicken, fresh Roma tomatoes, all on our fresh, never frozen pizza dough. 4 favorites, 1 pizza. So let's run it back. The spinach Alfredo chicken tomato pizza. Right now, a large for just $18.99. Delivery or carry out. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. It feels good to know your fund goes further at home. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780-all-7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Craving a dining experience that rises above the rest? Head to Summit Restaurant in the Silent Ice Center, just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Savor exceptional house-made pizza, delectable entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails in a stylish, modern atmosphere. Perfect for a casual meal or a special night out. Summit offers a refined experience where every bite and sip reflects our dedication to quality. Elevate your dining experience. Make Summit Restaurant your destination tonight.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
McValue breakfast meals are $5 plus tax every day. Get a sausage McMuffin, bagel with cream cheese product, or breakfast burrito with hash brown and small coffee, all for just $5. Plus taxes. Available until 11 a.m. at Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
The puck is passed up through the neutral zone, and here's a breakaway. He's coming in hot. He shoots it. Oh no, a broken stick.
When it comes to performance, quality parts matter. Napa Auto Parts has all the reliable parts, tools, and more to keep your vehicle running like a playoff contender. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
My ultimate dinner hack for busy weeknights is Catch of the Week. I used to think a great meal meant hours in the kitchen. Not anymore. I grab fresh fish, get simple instructions, and have an incredible dinner on the table in minutes. Their ready-made meals are a lifesaver, too. It's real food, it's fast, and it makes you feel like you've actually got your life together. They're just 5 minutes from Sherwood Park, but worth the drive from anywhere. Stop thinking about dinner and just go to Catch of the Week.
Visit catchoftheweekedmonton.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Can Torque. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at cantorque.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
2:47 as we continue on. Positive Friday. The Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, where tonight, 70 million up for grabs in Lotto Max. 10 max millions. So that's 10 prizes of $1 million. And 17 prizes of 100,000. So lots of opportunities for you to have an extra positive Friday. So good luck. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We're waiting to track down Justin Rankin. He's elusive on the field and off, evidently. So there you go. We got a lot of text to get to. Hey, guys, Quebec did a great with the Lindros trade. What would a trade look like if 97 or 29 wanted out? Are you able to get a Carlson or Gauthier, Slavkovsky? Well, keep in mind, if you go back and look at that trade, so Mike Ricci had been drafted in 1990, so he was young. Forsberg had just been drafted, and he was the key to the deal, but no one knew at the time. They were hoping, but no one knew he was going to turn out to be as good as he was, right? And then you had a bunch of Hextall, Chris Simon, Huffman, Duchesne. Like, they got a lot of pieces for sure, don't get me wrong, and a few first-round picks, and I think one of those picks was Tebow, if I'm not mistaken, and the other one was Nolan Baumgartner. But that was one trade. But they did well in one because they also got Patrick Waugh in another trade, right? Like that was the key. Make no mistake. And they had Joe Sakic. So, I don't think Edmonton's at a point where they should be considering 97 or 29 being moved out. Like, I don't. I heard people discussing that earlier. Like, I wouldn't. To me, that's a real overreaction, right? And just because people say the window's closed doesn't mean the window's closed. Like, people said that about Ovechkin after year 6. He's never going to be a good scorer anymore. Okay, I don't think the window's closed. You got to make some good moves, and the team's got to commit to playing good defense. All right, management's got to make some good acquisitions. Coaches got to improve coaching. Players got to improve playing. It's across the board. That's the way I look at it. So, I don't think one trade's going to say. And if you trade both those guys, you're probably rebuilding. Sadly. Now let's get to our Elks report, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home with the no payments, no interest for 1 year on your furnace or your AC. Bundle them together and you save even more at legacyheating.ca. And the Elks are ready to go. They will have medicals tomorrow, and then they will be on the field on Sunday at Clark Stadium this year for training camp. So if you want to go watch, it's open to the public on Sunday, and then of course again on Monday. So I look at the Elks, and hey, our next guest was their best player last year, and looking to build on that this season. Running back Justin Rankin joins us once again. Justin, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I appreciate you for having me.
Hey, no problem. How was the off season? Doing it what'd you get up to other than training? What'd you do for fun in the off season?
Man, just spend time with the kids. Went to a little science museum. And just working. That's really it.
Running backs, you take a lot of, pounding, and you're used to it, but is there anything how do you train your body so you can get through a season and take all the pounding? Is there what do you do as a running back to ensure that you're going to hold up during the season?
Man, I think just trying to do a lot of mobility work, and, obviously making sure you're working out, making sure you kind of, got some muscles on you. But at the end of the day, there's really nothing you can. I was talking to actually about this with my trainer. There's nothing you can do or train or replicate to, somebody hitting you play after play after play and doing that for 18 games straight. I think that's just having the mental fortitude to be able to, go out there every game, and whether you're banged up or not, and continue to, do what you do.
You've seen the moves they made. The offensive line has changed. As a running back, does it take you a long time to kind of understand the nuances of your new O-lineman?
I mean, a little bit, right? But at the end of the day, the scheme is a scheme. As long as you're trusting the scheme and what the coaches, are drawing up on the board, things will work out. The kinks will work out through over time, right? It takes time for guys to gel, but I think we got a good group here, and I'm just hoping that we can get a lot of them reps and a lot of those kinks, ironed out during training camp.
We had Tyrell Ford in studio yesterday, and he tells me you guys are going to be rooming together this year. And So, defensive guy, offensive guy. I know you guys will talk a lot of ball. The defense has a lot of returning faces. Offense for the running back, quarterback, and the new O-linemen are all veteran guys. And then not to mention, new same offensive coordinator. How much easier might not be the right word, Justin, but the offense. So how much easier is it to get up to speed, do you think, early this season on the offensive side of the ball compared to last year?
Yeah, it's really nice to be able to come back, in the same offense, with the same playbook. And, it allows you to play a lot more comfortable, a lot more fast. Obviously, we'll have some new stuff, take some stuff out, whatever that might be different. But like you said, right, like it's a comfortability level to it now where, we can come in and kind of play fast and kind of like gel a lot quicker, right? Get some of the new guys up to speed, because it's not all of us just coming into this new playbook. Like a lot of us know this playbook, so we can help out some of the newer guys coming in, whether it's on the field, off the field, just kind of picking it up faster. So it definitely feels good to come back into that same system and bring a lot of the same guys back, that already were in this system as well.
Justin Rankin joins us, of course, star running back for the green and gold. So, Justin, kind of what is your strategy as a running back? What do you look for to ensure you're working on in training camp to get you ready for the regular season?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely talked to a couple of the coaches throughout the offseason, Coach Soros and Coach Killam, and, I think some of the biggest things, just kind of staying patient, trusting the scheme and, things like that. So that's something I kind of want to work on during the, training camp is just truly believing in the whole holistic scheme of what we're trying to do and, buying into that a little more.
Okay. Do you consider yourself like a student of the game? Like, obviously you got to know your responsibilities, but are you a guy who understands what everybody else's responsibility is at that time?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely a student of the game. I love the playbook. I love football. I love learning football. I was sitting in QB school with these guys, a couple of days. So, I definitely enjoy learning like football. One day I definitely want to coach. So, it's something that, I like to do. It doesn't bother me to sit there and learn, what the receivers got, what the O-line has, and things like that.
So when you sat in with the quarterbacks, what'd you learn?
Shoot, I learned a lot of ball, man. I learned who they reading, the progressions, why they're doing certain things, things that I didn't know, before now. Well, Cody used to tell me some of it during, last year's practice, but to be able to sit down and take notes on some of that stuff, I still don't know how they do what they do. Like, that's phenomenal. The how much they're processing in such a short amount of time. Like, it's nuts.
Yeah, well, it is, right? Like, you gotta read so many things that are probably, when you go in there, it gives you a better appreciation of what they have to do, right?
Oh, for sure. And it makes me want to know my stuff even more. So I'm not asking Cody, hey, what do I got on this play, man? Because I already know he has a million things going in his head, right? So, it kind of motivates me to just make sure that I know everything that I got, or even, what the receivers got, just in case they have a question. Maybe I can help them out so Cody don't got to.
Okay. So it kind of encouraged you to say, man, this guy's got like 100 decisions going on sometimes. Like, I better know at least my 10.
Yeah, at least, at minimum.
Yeah. And that makes sense. Now, would it work the same for going in on have you ever sat in on O-line meetings?
Yeah, I sit in an O-line meeting. Sometimes I go talk to Coach Soros about stuff. I mean, for me, I think that's a necessity to understand, who they're blocking, why they're blocking them, what their thought process is, in terms of the blocking schemes, the pass protection. Because at the end of the day, I'm a part of them, we're one and the same. They're not running the ball, but shoot, they're the reason why I'm able to run the ball, right? So I need to know what they're doing. To me, it slows the game down a lot as well, right? And the biggest thing, it shows that I appreciate what those guys do, because it is a lot more than just going out there and, blocking a guy. The mental part of, being in the O-line is a lot as well.
Justin Rankin joins us. So, Justin, you look ahead to the season. There's going to be a 35-second clock this year. That's going to be the one change. Now the other rule changes are coming in next season, but do you think that 35-second clock is there anything you have to adapt to as a running back?
No, I don't really think so. At the end of the day, I'm gonna just play football. When that ball snaps, it's time to go, right? But I think for the most part, that's something that more so, the OC and Cody gotta, pay attention to, more than the running back. Cody's gonna tell us to hurry up or, slow down, one of the two. We don't really have to snap the ball. So, you know, at the end of the day, I think Cody would be paying attention to that more than anybody.
What about, you know, when you're one of the best players on the team, there's just added responsibility because people kind of look to you to be a difference maker. And I think in a way, you kind of automatically have to be a leader. Right now, you can't. Some guys are quiet leaders. Some guys are vocal leaders. It's different. But do you get a sense now that you need to be more of a leader? And if so, how would you go about that?
I'm gonna keep being the same person I was when I first got here. You know, I'm definitely more one of the quiet leaders. Like, I'm a man of action. Like, you know, you either gonna follow what I'm doing, the work I'm putting in, and the time I'm spending watching film, you know, or you're not. And that is one of the biggest things that, like, I want to work on this year, though, is like just bringing more guys with me. You know, and you know, showing guys, like, you know, the work will ultimately, like, you know, show up on the field. So that is something that, you know, me and Coach Killam have talked about, you know, and he's looking out of me, and, you know, shoot, I want to bring that out of myself, is just kind of bringing more guys, you know, not just the guys that are willing to do it, but the guys that are clear-taught and, like, you know, they don't really know if they want to come in early, but, you know, kind of not forcing, but getting those guys, convincing those guys, like, look, man, we need to put in the extra work if we want to go where we say we want to go.
Yeah. So how do you ensure your team is ready for week one?
Yeah, shoot. I mean, just doing the little things right, you know, like creating good habits, right? Like those daily habits every day, the little things, like, you know, the little things ultimately, you know, the result into the bigger picture that we're trying to get to, right? So, I mean, that's the biggest thing for me, is like just making sure everybody's doing the little things right, down on the field, off the field, at home, you know, going to sleep on time, getting up, drinking water, eating the right foods. Like, I mean, all that stuff matters, right? Like, even though some people may think it don't, all those things matter, because, like, you know, that's going to affect your play. So, you know, I think that's the biggest thing, just making sure everybody's in their playbook, everybody's studying, watching film, all the little things, all the little habits that are going to, like, drive us into November.
And Justin, Terrell Ford said there's very little chance that Zach Mathis will be the cook in the house. So what's your go-to for your roommates? Are you the chef? Is it going to be Ford? What's happening?
The only person that would cook in there is probably me. And Ford don't cook nothing. He don't need no. He literally told me today, he said he needs one small pan for some eggs, and that's it. I said, dude, that's crazy. But shoot, I don't know. I can really cook almost anything. But, you know, I mean, if I had like a go-to, I'll just make some Cajun pasta, because I can make a lot of it.
Okay, Cajun pasta. So then you're the cook and they're the dishes. They do the dishes. That's how it works?
I doubt they'll even do the dishes. I'm sure I'll still get stuck doing the dishes somehow.
Well, Justin, enjoy camp, and we'll talk to you again throughout the year. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
There you go. That's Justin Rankin from the Elks. And, man, he had a really good year last year. Like, not only rushing the ball, but remember, like, out of the backfield, like, he's just so explosive. Like, he had multiple games receiving yards where he's over 70 yards. Like, he is a dual purpose back. There's no question about it. He can run through the tackles, right? Or kind of, you know, in the A gap, you can go the B gap, you want to cut outside, and then he's got pretty good hands, man. So I expect them to use him a lot. And the other thing is, like, I just wonder what this offense will look like this year if they're not 2nd and 10 and 2nd and 13. Like, remember how many times they were 2nd and long last year, especially early in the season? It was brutal. Like, it allows the defense to be so much more aggressive. So if they can get better production on first down, like, to me, that's the number one area. And we are going to have a OC on. I don't like to talk to the OC until we get closer to the season, just because, you know, they're trying to implement things. Not going to say much during training camp, but to me, that's what I'll be looking for. Is, can they be more effective on first down? The game is much easier, even if it's 2nd and mid, 2nd and 6, 2nd and 7, but they were 2nd and long way too many times. And that was a huge problem last year. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. It is the Gregor Show, is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. We will take a quick break. When we return, we got lots more on the orders. Got a lot of text to get to, 833-401-1440. But first, we'll get to the con man and a sports 1440 update, brought to you by Fountain Tire. At Fountain Tire, they focus on your vehicle so you can focus on driving worry-free. Check their digital vehicle report. They'll not only tell you what your car needs, We'll show you. FountainTire.com. Book an appointment today.
The Sports 1440 update.
The NHL's Hart nominees were released today. No surprise, Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, and Nikita Kucherov all have a chance to win the NHL's MVP award. On the ice tonight, 2 games. Sabres, Canadians at 5, with Buffalo leading 1-0. Then at 7:30, it's Game 3, Ducks and Golden Knights. Series tied at the game apiece. In the association, the 76ers trying to get back into their series against the Knicks, trailing 2-0. Then at 7:30, Spurs, Timberwolves, leading from Minnesota. That one gets going at 7:30, series tied at 1 apiece. Major League Baseball, the Blue Jays in action, hosting the Angels. First pitch, 5:07. We'll join that game in progress here on our AM feed only. You've also got the Rays and the Red Sox, Twins, Guardians, Brewers up against the Yankees. The Mariners head to Chicago, taking on the White Sox, Padres, Cards, and the Braves get the Dodgers. In the PWHL tonight, it is Game 3, Boston and Ottawa. That's very exciting game apiece. Puck drop 5 o'clock at 6:30. It's Montreal looking to make it 2 straight and wrap up their series in Minnesota. And from the NFL, New York Jets running back Breece Hall has been who was given the franchise tag on March 3rd, agreed to a contract extension at 3 years, $45 million. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll hear from the voice of the Anaheim Ducks, John Ehlers, and get to the latest edition of Cam Tate's 2-minute warning, plus Wanye Gretz of Oilers Nation. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is your supplier of maximum comfort, bringing you the cool AC you need. You just have to call Legacy. Call Legacy for comfort at night when the hot air suffocates you. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. For comfort in your wallet with no payments or interest for 1 year. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. You deserve comfort. Cool off today with AC from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
New at Papa John's, the spinach Alfredo chicken tomato pizza. Say it with me now. Spinach Alfredo sauce, grilled chicken, fresh Roma tomatoes, all on our fresh, never frozen pizza dough. 4 favorites, 1 pizza. So let's run it back. The spinach Alfredo chicken tomato pizza. Right now, a large for just $18.99. Delivery or carry out. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
When life unexpectedly changes, it can leave us feeling unbalanced, uncertain, and unsure of how to move forward. But you don't have to go through it alone. I'm Corey Anderson with Fairway Divorce Solutions. Our team helps reestablish balance, guiding you through your divorce with compassion, clarity, and support. Fairway has helped more than 6,500 families across Canada find a path towards a peaceful, fair resolution. With 2 offices in Edmonton, we're here to make your journey easier. Discover your options at Fairway Divorce.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
The tents are up and the deals are out. The Brick's biggest sale of the season is on now. Take up to 60% off clearance items in the tents. Sofas start at $3.99 and save up to 50% on select mattresses. Get a sofa, coffee table, mattress, bed frame, and dining set, all for less than $1,500. Only at the Brick's tent sale. See in store for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3. Saving you more money, with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Emerald Equipment. Emerald Equipment is Edmonton's newest dealer for Yanmark compact equipment. Machines built tough for the jobs that don't quit. Get your new Yanmark compact track, blowers with ASV, Posi Track, and Emerald Equipment.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Positive Friday rolls along. How you doing, Jason Gregor? Connor, how am I? Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Declan Cougar running things over at YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. Some of you who download later, listening live on TuneIn, thank you very much. We always appreciate it. However you consume the show, we are happy that you have us as part of your day, whether it's for an hour or all 4 hours. We appreciate it. The Gregor Show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website, where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at PlayAlberta.ca, where tonight, Lotto Max 70 million, 10 Max Millions, as well as 70 prizes of 100K. So good luck, PlayAlberta.ca, as we welcome in Wanye Gretz to the show. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I wonder what percentage of Sports 1440 listeners listen on the radio in 2026 and what percentage listen on the streaming apps, who's watching on social, who's watching on YouTube. I bet you that's really interesting information.
Yeah, well, I think they have, obviously watching it is still the lowest number overall, just because people are working. So, there's, but it's growing.
The clips though go crazy.
Oh no, yeah, the clips are very good. That was why obviously we added the social part, the video to it, so we could do that. So if people miss something, they see it and they're like, okay, I want to go listen to the interview. Live on radio is still higher according to the numbers, the streaming, but the gap has closed a lot compared to like 5, 6, 7 years ago. Right, so to me it doesn't matter. You listen on the radio, you listen online. As long as you're listening, as long as you're watching, it's fantastic. We got a few people who do both. So the diehards.
I watch on YouTube a lot while I'm doing other things. I just kind of have it on in the background. Yeah. It's nice because I'm in my house or I'm in my office where like I don't have a radio.
Yeah.
So YouTube, I think, is growing in leaps and bounds in terms of how people are watching the shows.
Oh yeah. No, it's good. You look at the sporting world. What's your thoughts on what moves do you think the Oilers are making? Are they making big moves? Management, coaches, big trades. What do you think they're doing? What do you think they should do?
I think we have to assume that there's only 2 years left of Connor if we don't win a cup. And I think we owe it to the man to do everything we can think of to try to improve next September. And we have to treat this year as an aberration, not the direction that we're headed in. I think they got to have a big bounce back year for the sake of Connor, or he might be gone. So I think you got to kind of do everything you can think of, including a coaching change potentially.
Don't sit on the fence. Should they make a coaching change?
Well, I don't ever want to wish against someone being unemployed. I think that's not particularly nice. I think we need a hard-nosed coach to come in and get that last 5% out with the stick, not the carrot. Personally, sometimes you got to get yelled into that last gear.
All right.
A little bit of fire around the room. I don't think that'd be the worst thing, would it?
Probably not. So you don't think Knobloch can be that guy?
I think he's like a chess master type. Like he's very calm. He's very reserved. I think what we see out in front of the cameras is probably similar guy behind closed doors in the dressing room. I don't see him being the hard ass necessarily that you may need to get the last little bit. I don't know, as a profile of a coach to come in, and who do you think would do better, like a player's coach or a hard-nosed coach?
I'm not. To me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who the coach is if this team continues to be the same team at the root of their identity, which is inconsistent defensively. And they've shown they can be good defensively when they want to be. So I don't really believe it's systemic. Now, I think the coach had a year, like I use the analogy that's pretty simple. When you go to the Cup, he's a 35 goal scorer 2 years in a row. It's pretty good. Then he dropped down to 22 goal season. Do you just say the player's terrible? And it's like, no, you had a down year. I think he can bounce back. So that's kind of how I look at it, Chris Knobloch. Chris Knobloch didn't have as good of a year last year as he did the previous 2 years. I think that's fair. And it's not just because they went to the Cup final. It was even in the regular season. I thought the year before when he sat down, Draisaitl sent a really strong message early on in the year. Message received. Didn't do that this past season. So you know what? That's, to me, an error. But it's not something I said that can't, because he's done it once. I don't see why it's not hard to do it again. I think if you ask Chris honestly, he would probably say, yeah, that was a mistake. I probably should have been a little bit harder at that moment. Doesn't mean that he can't be hard on guys. And, you have coaches that are hard on guys and they don't win. So, but I do want to get to texts like this because hey, Gregor, I listen to your rant. I'll push back. Stop giving credit to the coach when he's a stacked team, adding players at the deadline, 2 generational talents. You would have had a good year coaching. Also, Knobloch was almost coached by McClellan last year, who in my opinion was a truly last good coach. Ever since Knobloch came, Connor has progressively gotten worse 5-on-5. Yeah, I want a real NHL coach, not someone who came from the AHL. Cassie's a good system coach, and he won't stand for selfish plays that cost us in high-danger chances. From Jay. Okay, so let's go over that a few things. So number one, stop giving credit to the coach. So the coach gets no credit. He only gets blame. But that doesn't make sense. Can't work both ways. Oh, they're having lots of success. Oh, coach did nothing. Well, what did the Oilers do before? And oh, by the way, so that's point one. Number two, you say that McDavid's regressed every year under Knobloch. Well, fun fact, his greatest 5-on-5 season came under Knobloch when he had 72 points in 76 games, by the way. Then if you look at, and that's just points, but then if you look at other things, and you can look at the most goals ever on the ice in one season, it was the first year of Knobloch. If you look at his goal for percentage and 61, 54, 52. Look at expected goals percentage. The 2 highest of his career came in Knobloch's first 2 seasons. The other one is the 5th highest. So 3 of the top 5 under Knobloch, including the top 2. You look at his shots for percentage, his 2 best under Knobloch, and again, the 5th best. So 3 of the top 5 have come under Knobloch. So I think you're only looking at points. Knobloch doesn't shoot the puck into the net. But as far as creating chances and out-shooting and out-chancing it, actually 3 of the top 5 seasons in McDavid's career have come with Knobloch, including the top 2. So it's just factually, statistically incorrect when you say he's regressed, right? He had 57 points this past season at 5-on-5. Like last year, he only had 142 shots 5-on-5. Now, he missed some games, but even if you prorate that, it's still lower. It's not, the coach can't force a player to shoot. Right? McDavid himself said, it doesn't come naturally to me. I got to shoot the puck. Well, you think a hard-ass coach, like what's a coach going to do? Oh, Connor didn't shoot on that 2-on-1. I'm going to bench him. Honestly, you think a coach is going to do that?
I don't know that Connor and Leon are where we need to improve to be a better team next year.
I disagree. Their defensive game was not good enough. You're the leader of the team. You can't just lead offensively. Can't do it. Leon Draisaitl said at the end of the year, and I like Leon, hey, my defensive game wasn't good enough. Last year, he was 6th in Selke voting. This year, he won't even get a vote, right? That's a big drop-off. So you've shown that should be the standard. Now, you might not be 6th, maybe drop down to 8th or 9th, whatever, but that's the standard. And that's so because when the guys at the top aren't doing the defensive stuff, it leaks down to everybody else because the top guys are on the ice the most. That's just a fact, right? As they should be. They got the most responsibility to get the most accolades. But no, Connor McDavid can't be defending in his own zone with his stick not on the ice because he's ready to attack out of the zone. Can't do it. You're 11 years into the league. So no, when your best players have to set the tone. They're the ones who have to set the tone. And they're like, I don't care who plays on my line, who's ever on my line. We're going to do well. What everybody always talk about Crosby? He's not really playing with anybody. So what? He was still good. Didn't care. So it doesn't matter. And like when I hear already that, McDavid and Draisaitl got to play together, my first question is why? Why do they have to play together? And I'm telling you, that's not just a coaching decision. Okay? I'm sorry, it isn't. You can't get frustrated because the guys you play with aren't, and so now you're switching them up. Oh, geez, don't want this guy. Oh, now the guy's playing good. Now I want him back. No. Just play. So I would argue that there's a lot of factors in this organization to get back on track. And I'm not one who thinks the Oilers, the window's closed. That's garbage too. But in order for their window to stay open, it's the guys who are using the most of the window. Bouchard, Draisaitl, McDavid. That's just a fact that they need to be better defensively, right? And because if they are, and you demand them to be better, everybody else better be better. Guess what? They ain't playing. It's just that simple. So it's not that they're the reason they're out, but they're the main reason they're going to win. That's just a fact. Every team in the history of the game, your best players ultimately are the ones who decide it. So when they play the right way, more often than not, your chances of winning go up. So yeah, I don't think they had a good year. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not capable of it, but I'm just talking about this year. If you look at this season, I don't see how anybody can sit there and say that, there's no areas of improvement. On like which player on the team would I look and say, geez, it's going to be pretty hard for him to improve. Like, honestly, like, could Podkolzin improve his work ethic? It'd be pretty damn hard for him to improve that, right? Like that guy shows up all the time. Now, if there's one area that he could improve, it's probably his reads so he could be on the penalty kill. That'd be an area, right? So every player on that team should spend this summer, like their expectations were not met and really not close to what their internal, not my expectations, not Wanye's, not Connor's, not any of our listeners, because our expectations really are irrelevant. They're not in the room, right? Doesn't matter. If we say, they better win the cup, that doesn't matter. The players, their internal expectation, they didn't reach it. Like David said, they were an average team. And when they're average, that includes himself. They weren't good enough. There's very few players on the team who I think, there's a few, of course, who played in all facets of the game to their capability this year.
So do you think it should be a big offseason then filled with moves, or what are you prescribing?
Oh, no, I think they got to make some player. I just think, to me, if you're going to fire the coach again, you're just repeating the same things of the past. I've seen this movie. They got rid of Todd McClellan, and they got rid of Ken Hitchcock, and they got rid of Dave Tippett, and they got rid of Jay Woodcroft. So, and the funny thing is, the one coach who's had the most success of all of them was Knobloch. They went to the Stanley Cup final twice. No one else ever got them close. They never won a game after the second round under any of those other coaches, right? They didn't win a game. So he took them the farthest. They improved. And this year they took a little bit of a step back. But I just think it would be a terrible message as an organization. To me, it's a panic move. I get that we got 2 years. 2 years is a long time in sports. It's a long time, and lots can happen. Like, if the Oilers don't have 4 centers injured, they're probably still playing in the second round right now.
On average, every coach is different, every team is different, every situation is different. How long of a run should a head coach get?
Depends. Like,
on average.
I think good, successful organizations maintain their coach a little bit longer. Like, it's funny. Everybody's like, I want John Cooper. I want John Cooper. I'm like, okay. John Cooper missed the playoffs in year 4 after going to the Cup final in year 2. Then he missed it in year 4. So they went lose first round, Cup final second round, third round the next year, missed the Cup fourth year. Should they have fired him then? They didn't fire him. They didn't fire him then. That's year 4. Then they went back to the third round. Then they lost after the greatest regular season up until that point, because then Boston broke the record a few years later. Greatest regular season ever, didn't win a game in the playoffs. Now in year 6. So you've lost in the first round. You've missed the playoffs. Then you got swept in the first round 3 of his first 6 years. They didn't fire him. Oh, look what happened.
Does every coach deserve that many?
Well, no, not every coach, but I think it's too much of a panic move. And if I'm Stan Bowman, he's evaluated, as you should. So then evaluate everything evenly. So let's go through it. Why didn't they beat the Ducks? The number one reason would be injuries to their 4 centers. No one can discount that. David's not the player he was. Dickinson's playing on one leg. Draisaitl's coming off a knee injury. Henrique's not playing. Name a team in NHL history that wins a playoff series when their 4 centers, one of them is out, one of them missed a game, playing with the fracture, the other one's playing with a fracture, and the other one's coming off a grade 2 MCL strain. Can you name one? So that's a big reason. So we start there. Now we funnel down. What are the things that I didn't like from the coaches here? Well, I didn't like that he didn't hold the guys accountable. That would be the number one, right? To me, he relied too much on 97. So these are conversations. So what did you learn from this year? What would you do different? You have to have the conversation. Now, if the coach says, nothing, man, I thought I did great. It's all in the players. Well, then I might want to fire the coach. But I don't think, I would hope, I don't know for sure, but I would hope that's not the response you're getting from a coach who went to 2 Stanley Cup finals. Right? And that's the other thing. Like, he went to 2 Cup finals. It's not like he's inexperienced. Just because he lost a game 7 and another coach won his Stanley Cup, it doesn't mean that the experience, like you went through the exact same game. One guy lost the game, one guy won the game. What experience do you have more? No, you just have a better result. You don't have more experience. And in fact, losing lots of times is where you learn more. Think about it in business. Where you usually learn from the mistakes you made in business to not make it the second time. If you just get it in your first business as a killer business, right? And then you try to start a new business the second time, probably more likely to fail the second one because it's rare that everybody just had to boom. Ask any business owner out there. Oh, everything's great, man. We had awesome success right away. It's not really how it works.
No, and the things that work one year or on one business don't work the next necessarily.
100%. Same in hockey.
I'm just like, I'm wondering how many coaches has the Nuge had? Like 9. It's preposterous how many Ryan Nugent-Hopkins coaches there's been in his career. I don't think that's good organizationally to have that many coaches.
Well, McDavid's had 5, and he's been in the league 11 years.
So like 3, 4, 5 years, is that good tenure for a head coach?
It all depends how your team, what direction you're going, right? Like if you're seeing no improvement, like there's coaches who get hired to be fired. The coaches who come in the first year of rebuild, like Foot in Vancouver. Now, some would argue that maybe he wasn't ready for the job, but is that because the team wasn't good? I don't know. But that guy, very low chance he's lasting more than 3 years.
Who was that for the Oilers during the decade of darkness?
Well, it would have been, God, pick your poison there. Probably, I think when, Ralph Kruger he got fired way too soon. No question.
I thought he was a good coach
about it. He was an okay coach. He was. I thought he was another guy who Edmonton had a tendency to love people more than they necessarily should. If you look at Ralph Kruger, they had a really good start, and there was no adjustments made during that season. And then they got to the trade deadline, and then they went 1-10, and it was good night, Irene. They were in a playoff spot, and then after the trade deadline, just tanked it. Right. So he was a good coach. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he was would he been better than Aikens? Yes, I don't discount that, but Aikens got you Draisaitl and McDavid. So there's lots of things as an organization. You can go back and wish it was different, but it wouldn't only be the bad things that are different. Some of the good things would be different too. Mainly, you might not have gotten Draisaitl because you might have picked 4th or 5th, and you might not have gotten McDavid because maybe you would have finished 26th and you wouldn't have had the 3rd best odds. So would you rather that? Wow, geez, we weren't that bad, but so you can't pick and choose which ones. To me, that's when people do the what if game, they only do the what if game where it's the positive things. Well, what if we didn't make this trade? Oh, everything would have worked out. Well, really? How do you know that this and this and this wouldn't have happened? So never works. We'll take a quick break. We'll return. It's Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Hi, I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. We've been tightening bolts and redefining our industry for 25 years. Yes, a quarter century, and we're just getting started. Check us out at Cantork.com. Our tools age better than I do.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. It feels good to know your fund goes further at home. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto. Show you the money.
And here comes Action Electrical service team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. This weekend, Morningwood and the Repercussions take the stage at OTR, plus drink specials and DJ Jasper Avon 118. OnTheRocks.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Positive Friday continues on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. Also, we should mention if you are a hockey fan, the WHL final begins tonight, and if you are a fan of good young defensemen, you should watch that series because they got arguably 2 of the best defensemen in the entire league. Daxon Rudolph, who is draft eligible this season from the PA Raiders. He's leading playoff scoring with 23 points in 15 games. And you have young DuPont in Everett, who has 17 points in 13 games. Like those guys, and he's not draft eligible until next season. But man, Everett's really good. They're the favorite going in. PA's pretty good team, but that is something to watch for. If you're looking for good hockey, man, and you're intrigued about, I know that the Oilers don't have a pick, so you're probably like, why do I care? But they're pretty good, man. I can tell you that right now. And Daxon Rudolph out of Lacombe, Alberta, and young DuPont, both very, very good players. Both Alberta guys, DuPont. So yeah, it's good. That should be a heck of a series. Everett's the favorite, I think, for sure. But man, you watch the highlight tape of Atlanta DuPont, but also, you look at Rudolph, and he is taking big strides. I'm going to be very curious to see where he goes in the draft because he has just gotten better. Craig Button's going to join us at 4:00 today, so we'll talk about those two and get his thoughts on some other things. So should be good, real good. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We got, I think we're going to get John, the voice of the Ducks, as we go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical with 4 divisions in project, service, testing, and solar. They've growing into becoming the most diversified electrical contractor in the province. ActionElectrical.net as John Ehlers joins us. And John, round 2, game 3 in Anaheim. The Ducks get the split exactly position that they were in round 1 against the Edmonton Oilers. And they got to be coming into this home game feeling pretty good about themselves. And the series has been different in the sense that, it's more low scoring. It's not as high end offense. And the Ducks, that's kind of how they won all year long. They weren't really a lock them down, drag them out defensive team. But in this series, they have done it and look pretty good doing it.
It's probably the most encouraging part of where they are right now, because they've really put together 3 consecutive very strong playoff performances. And when I say playoff, I put the emphasis on playoff because they played playoff hockey. The narrative around this team all year has been, they can play river hockey, they can beat you 5-4, but can they win 2-1? Can they win 3-2 come playoff time? And I don't know that we had the answer through the first 5 games against the Edmonton Oilers. We'd seen it periodically throughout the regular season, but we hadn't seen it with the consistency that we've seen now over the course of a week's time in 3 consecutive games. Obviously, it's not a large sample size, but it's something that's very encouraging because, as you point out, they're right where they were through 2 games against Edmonton, and in a somewhat similar fashion in so much as they could have very easily won both of the 2 games on the road. They had Edmonton down 3-2 after 2 in game 1 and let that one get away from them. And they were the better team in game 1 in Vegas. They just couldn't beat Carter Hart.
Yeah, he was excellent in game 1 and really big reason. Like, Anaheim's looked quicker. No doubt in my mind, they look quicker than Vegas. I think they are quicker than Vegas. And like Leo Carlson, he opened the eyes of a lot of people, I think, in that first series against Edmonton. And he's just continued in this series. He's only 21 years of age, man. And God, he is a big and skate and strong. And a lot of people, I've seen some people suggest maybe he'll be like Barkov. I don't know. That would be unreal if he could be, but he might be even more offensive than him.
Yeah, earlier in the season, I had the opportunity to talk to some folks in the media, and I proclaimed, based on what I saw in October and November, that this young man was already a superstar in our league. Now, you can relate being in Edmonton, but we don't get seen by the center of the hockey universe all that much out on the West Coast. The eyeballs that are in New York City and Toronto and wherever they may be that kind of dominate the national media. They didn't see him. His season got really derailed by, he had a lesion in his thigh in late December that they found that was causing some swelling, and I believe he had a growth in it. They had to remove that, and that cost him playing in the Olympics as well for his home country, Sweden. And other than that, I think that's about the only thing that slowed him down, because he was well above a point per game average early in the season through those first 6-8 weeks, and was carrying the team. And that's really the only thing that slowed him down. I've heard a lot of different comparisons. I heard after game 1 in Vegas, even though they lost, somebody said that, the play he made to set up Lacombe, where Lacombe looked off the shot and made the pass, was very reminiscent of Mario Lemieux. Now, that's high praise, and obviously he's got a long way to go before any comparisons along those lines come in. But, Leo is the centerpiece. He's the former 2nd overall pick. He's the number 1 line center. And in the years to come, this team will probably go as far as Leo takes them.
Looking at matchups now, Joe Quenneville gets back home. Just like against Edmonton, he didn't have a hard matchup. He kind of had certain guys he trusted, and it obviously it worked very well. Vegas doesn't have a McDavid or a Draisaitl, but obviously Jack Eichel's a pretty good player. Do you see any matchups that Quenneville might lean towards more now that he has last change tonight?
It's interesting because he did make changes after game 1, and he put Ross Johnston in, who was a mainstay on the 4th line throughout the regular season. Mason McTavish came out of the lineup, but probably would have been a much larger headline had the Ducks not won game 2. And as a result, I don't expect to see McTavish again tonight. And he put Jansen Harkins in, a couple of 4th line players. Harkins ends up with the empty net goal that seals the deal in game 2. But from a matchup perspective, to answer your question, I think it's going to be interesting to see, because John Tortorella has moved Mitch Marner out of the middle, and he's popped him now out on the wing, as he did in the 3rd period of game 2 with William Karlsson. And that's going to be a new look line there. Brett Howden's going to stay there with Carlson. And it may affect matchups. Joel has told us, and from my observation of watching, that he's not a hard match coach, but certainly he wants Lacombe and Trouba out there against Jack Eichel if he can get that matchup, defensively speaking. That fourth line with Washi playing with VL and Ian Moore did a wonderful job against the McDavid line throughout that first round series in Edmonton. But at this point in time, we haven't seen a hard match. I think it may reveal itself tonight, if there is going to be one for him, with him having last change and with Tortorella having reshuffled his lines.
Any lineup changes you're hearing for either side for tonight?
Well, I'm being told that Dylan Coughlin's going to go in on defense for Caden Korzak for Vegas. And then the new line combinations that we saw in the third period of game 2, from a Vegas perspective, Stone's going to pop up and play with Eichel and Barbashev, and Dorofeev is moving down in the lineup as he did to play on that third line in the third period of game 2. And then Coughlin's going to play right where Korzak was. He'll play with Ben Hutton on that third defensive pair. No lineup changes as far as I could tell from watching the morning skate this morning where Anaheim is concerned, and that's par for the course with Joel Quenneville. From what I've seen this season with him, unless it's mandated by an injury or some other circumstance, he does not mess with a winning lineup.
Yeah, which is understandable and makes a lot of sense. Give me your thought. Like we talked, like there's so many young guys that are impressive, but Beckett Seneca, and just how he's performed in the playoffs, and a lot of really like the bite that he brings to his game. He's a very skilled guy. But, man, he goes at guys, and lots of times in a little bit of a greasy fashion, which we really respect. And honestly, I didn't know he had that element of his game. And I think it's not outwardly, but if you pay close attention, it's there quite often.
He's very resilient, and he's a very confident young man and young hockey player. I liken the comparison I've made, because I've been here in Anaheim for 24 years now. I liken him to a young Corey Perry with better hands, with more skill. He can play with the puck and make things happen and create opportunities, not only for his line mates, but for himself with the hands that he has. He's got that long, pipe cleaner look to his frame. He's thin, he's slight, but he's strong. And he's taken a number of hard hits this season, and he's dished out a number of hard hits this season, which has been, startling for us at times early on. We're getting more accustomed to it now watching him play, but the confidence he plays with and his willingness to engage physically, and just from what I've seen with him as a player is just so reminiscent of Corey Perry to me. And I think that's that's high praise in and of itself when you look at the career that Corey Perry has had. But Seneca is a very highly skilled player. You don't score 23 goals in this league without it. And he began the year as a 19-year-old. And again, I think the sky's the limit, because from the looks of things, and this might be bad news for the rest of the National Hockey League, but I think he's still growing, and he may be bigger and stronger when he comes to his physical maturity.
And what about Mason McTavish? What's the update on him?
Well, as I mentioned, Mason was a scratch in game 2, and he was a healthy scratch in game 2. And that's, from what I can tell, going to be the case again here in game 3. Now, it has happened earlier this season, and there were 2 healthy scratches for Mason. I want to say maybe back in early March, or might have been late January. And, they'd like to see more from Mason. It's been a tough year for him. He missed part of training camp after the contract holdout, which I think always makes things difficult for a player, especially a younger player. We've witnessed that here in years past when Zegras and Drysdale held out and missed part of training camp. And he's not playing center anymore. So that's an adjustment. They've asked him to play the wing. They need him on the power play. He's got such a great shot, and he can influence a power play. The power play's gone dry since the Edmonton series here. So there are ways for him to get back in the lineup. But as I said, as of right now, I think short of an injury or an Anaheim loss, we're not going to see Mason McTavish until one of those 2 things happen.
Awesome. Well, enjoy the games tonight, and of course on the weekend, and a huge weekend in Anaheim. I'm sure the weather's great, and I'm guessing there'll be lots of fun in and outside of the rink. As always, appreciate your time, John. Have a great call.
Thanks so much. Take care.
There you go. That's John Ehlers from Anaheim. And Ducks, they look pretty good, man. They quick and fast and young and gaining a lot of experience. It'll be, you know what? Hey, there's going to be lots of good teams. And the Oilers, I know a lot of people think, wow, the Oilers are done now because the Ducks, I think that's a tad premature. That's a little bit of the sky is falling. The Oilers, guess what? They should be highly, highly motivated when they return in September next season.
And rested.
Sure, yeah. There's no doubt that's going to help somewhat, for sure, right? It'll help. I know we got some texts. Hey, guys, if the Oilers wanted guys to rest, why is Nurse and Bouchard and Ekholm going to the World Championships? Well, I'll say this. Number one, the World Championships, it ain't close to playoff intensity, okay? You might get to the playoff games and they're there, but it's not the same at all. It's much more relaxed. You bring your family over. It's a very different experience in the playoff. The guys get to keep playing, right? So I think it's a good thing for players. I don't think it's it's not the mental strain at all of the playoffs. It's not the physical strain of the playoffs, but you still get to play and work on some things. It's competitive hockey, but I don't think it's saying. Plus, you got to remember, by the time this tournament starts, they'll have had a few weeks off to kind of get a little bit of a rest there. Then they go back and play, feel good. Yeah, so I don't see as an A. Also, Isaac Howard, if you missed it, he's going for Team USA. So he'll be going. Szymanski is going for Team Germany as well. Quick break. We'll come back. We got Tater's 2-minute warning. We got some stats of the day. Craig Button, Mark Spectre, Low Tide and more on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, healing doesn't have to feel heavy, because in our SwimX aquatic therapy pools, you literally float your way to recovery. Whether you're dealing with arthritis, back pain, joint injuries, post-surgical rehab, chronic pain, balance issues, mobility challenges, or just feeling a little creaky, warm water and gentle resistance have your back, your knees, and your hips. Trusted by pro sports teams and rehab hospitals, our SwimX pools help you move sooner, hurt less, and recover faster. So take the load off. Let the water do the work. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Rivalries run deep in Alberta football.
Edmonton all the way.
Calgary rules. But when it comes to the best snack for 3-down fun, there's no Battle of Alberta. It's a clear winner.
Wilhock Beef Jerky.
The one thing every Alberta fan agrees on. So whether you're watching the game from your recliner or in the stands, make it a part of your game day.
Wilhock Beef Jerky. Because you don't win games with salad. Only available in Leduc.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Action Electrical Solar Team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy. Designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical Team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Summer, it's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the Sweatbox.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in pre-season pricing today.
Visit ProSolutionsInc.ca to schedule your service today.
McValue meals are here. Get the McD's you love for $5 plus tax every day with your choice of a McDouble, Junior Chicken, or Chicken Snack Wrap with small fries and small fountain drink. All for just $5 plus taxes. Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
Allen Olson Auctions presents the first annual Camrose Consignment Auction. Open now for online bidding through May 12th at allenolsonauction.com. This huge two-ring auction includes sales for Camrose Auto Wreckers, Bow Rain Holdings, and a large variety of farm equipment, lumber, automotives, livestock handling equipment, and miscellaneous items, and includes a partial dispersal for A1 Septic and a closeout sale for anytime towing. For more info, call Allen Olson Auctions at 780-672-2434 or visit allenolsonauction.com today.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$3:48, Jason Gregor, Wanye Gretz, Connor Highline, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. And we got a lot of good texts coming in, varying opinions on a lot of different things. We'll get to the 2-minute warning in a sec. Hey, guys, I think about my supervisors at work. We tend to give more respect to the calm, cool, and collected guys more than the supervisor who loses his mind over every little thing and loves to micromanage. Players are grown men. Do they really need to be yelled at to play defense? Shouldn't they just do it? I think the fans want a coach who yells and screams because it looks like he gives a bleep. I'm sure there's a video of KK yelling in the room that would get my attention coming from a quiet guy more than a Tortorella who get mad at every little thing from Vitamin J. And you know what? There's going to be different personalities for different players, right? Chris Knobloch, I still once a year on the bench, I think would probably be like, all right, I do think that's something at times you got to show your guys that you got their back. Now you can be strategic about it and you can't be fake. You can't do it all the time because it's not who he is. But I don't think it means he doesn't demand it in the room. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's no different than the opposite, right? Like the old, wolf in sheep's clothing. There's lots of people you see publicly and what do you think they are? And turns out they're not that at all. So just because a guy's not vocal behind the bench and yelling and screaming at the refs doesn't mean he doesn't hold his players accountable, right? Actions always speak louder than words. And I think Chris would be the first to admit that last year he probably should have cracked down with some guys riding pine for short periods of time to send the message that, okay, guys, this isn't to the level that we deem acceptable.
I'm with the texter. Like, personally, I don't like being yelled at. I prefer people who are logical, who talk like Chris Knobloch, right? I'm just wondering, when you've come back-to-back cup finals and then you've come off that for a year, I mean, you should never be letting go a coach that just signed an extension. That seemed to me like poor money management.
Well, yeah, that's where, hey, it's up to your owner to, and you as a GM to say, okay, because if I'm the owner, I'm saying, okay, wait a sec. So you came to me not even 12 months ago and said, hey, let's sign this guy to a 3-year extension. And now before the 3-year extension even kicks in, you're telling me he's not the guy? What did you read wrong here? Right? Like, that would be a question for sure. Now, I get that, you're a billionaire and whatever, you pay the guy the money. Well, okay, fine. But I just, you guys who make a lot of money don't just love giving their money away.
Well, you don't become a billionaire by giving away $9 million US. It goes the other way.
Yes.
And to your point, like, why would you need a 3-year extension only to be followed up by, we're not even going to pay $1 of that extension?
Oh, no, you'll pay it. You just won't get any. Well, you won't be working for it, right? Just how it works. So, yeah, it is.
It was a 3-year contract for $9 million. Is that correct?
Yeah, 3 years, $3 million a year is my understanding.
Nobby's he's got it made in the shade. Imagine that leverage in negotiations. You're like, worst comes to worst, I take my $9 million and go sit somewhere.
But see, it's funny, not remotely how he thinks.
That's not the attitude of somebody who coaches their way into the
Yes,
NHL.
you want to coach. You don't want to just say, "Oh, I get my money and I can sit at home and do nothing." No, you're a young guy. It eats away at you because the money doesn't make you happy.
There's also been a million years Coach Knobloch didn't make a lot of money coaching and had to be on the road all the time. And I'm sure had conversations at home about, is this really worth it given what a minor league junior coach makes? And that's the mentality of, I don't care about money, that will allow you to get through those years and get into the NHL. Because there's been a lot of lean years if you're coaching your way into the NHL.
100%. Guys, Lindy Ruff's been with Buffalo a long time. Well, yeah, there was pit stops. He left and then came back. And it is funny. He was the last coach to win a playoff series. And then he had to come back. And then he was the coach to win a playoff series again. So they went 14 years without it. Obviously, his first year back, they didn't win. But then they got back in this season, which is obviously great for Buffalo. And got a lot of texts. Hey, Greg, I'll admit, earlier in the week, I thought firing the coach was the right move. Listening to you, you've kind of swayed my opinion on it, that I wasn't looking at the fact that it looks like it's another out for the players. I would agree that's not what I'd want. Where do you think Bowman comes out, and what do you think he looks for in his evaluations? From Stan. Stan, good question. Well, what do I've talked to Stan before about this. I didn't, not this specific time with Chris Knobloch, but when you're the GM at the end of the year and you're evaluating, because you got to remember, so Stan Bowman came in his first year in Chicago. They won the Stanley Cup. Not a team he built, right? Now, he made some moves that year, but the majority of this stuff were there. Not much different than here, right? He came into Edmonton, a team that had already been to the Cup, and his first year in Edmonton, they went to the Cup final. He made some moves during that season. Obviously, Pud Colson, Wallman, some other trades. Now, his second year in Chicago, they made the playoffs, lost in round one. Exactly what Edmonton did. So while he didn't build the first Cup winner in Chicago, he did have his hands on the team that won in 13 and again the team that won in 15. Now, a lot of the core is the same. And I don't like Bouchard, Draisaitl, McDavid, that's your core. Hyman, they're not going anywhere, right? So that's going to be similar to Kane, Taves, Seabrook, and Keith. The difference is it's 3 forwards to 1D instead of 2 and 2. So slight difference, but for the most part, it's the same, right? They had different goalies who won those cups, 13, 15 compared to 2010. You had some other players involved. You know, I still think that Jesus trade was one of the greatest trade deadline acquisitions. Gave up a 4th rounder for Jesus, turned out to be their second line center that year. He's awesome. So he has a blueprint, but just because you do it in one place doesn't guarantee you success in the next, because how you did it there, you can't do the exact same thing. You can't say, oh, I'm going to go find the 2027 version at the trade deadline, which would be next year, of Michael Jesus. It's impossible. You can't know it. Like, A, does the guy stay healthy? B, yada, 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 right? Like, there's lots of things that go into it. But you can look at it and say, okay, you don't panic. You don't freak out. And I think that's the decision you have to look like. They won a cup, and then they lost 2 in a row. They didn't get rid of their coach after losing in the first round 2 years in a row after winning the cup. So maybe he makes a big move. Something would tell me that he won't, and I don't really believe he should, but that's just me. So we'll see. Now let's get to Cam Tate and the 2-minute warning, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home of the no payments, no interest on your AC unit. Stay cool all summer at legacyheating.ca. Cam, of course, born with cerebral palsy, Cam's in wheelchairs, never let him slow him down, and is always wanting his words to come to life, and they do so in radio. On Fridays, I get the honor of reading, honor/challenge of reading Tater's words. So, Cons, cue the music. Here's Tater, 2-minute warning. With the Elks starting training camp on the weekend, I'm warmly reminded of the greatest CFL fan I'll ever know, my wife, Joan. It was like a 3-day Christmas for Joan, starting Friday night, all day Saturday and Sunday. Birthday parties, housework, grocery shopping, and literally everything else were ignored, put on hold, or missed. Joan loved the CFL. Didn't have a favorite team, nor a favorite player, except for Hall of Fame quarterback Doug Flutie. You see, Joan spent a few years in Calgary, something she told me within 10 minutes of meeting her. And she was a huge Calgary Flames fan. How big, you ask? Joan's wedding dress was red. I even came close to losing my Edmonton Oilers press pass because of my wife. I'm blessed to get 2 press passes, one for my assistant, one for me. I took Joan to an Oilers game when the Flames were in town. She wore her red blazer and red high heels. Calgary had a bad game that night. So what does my darling wife do in the Rexall Place press box? She grabs a game day magazine and turns her chair, get this, around to face the crowd behind the press box. I think of that and so much more. It'll be 3 years tomorrow since Joan left us. I miss you beyond words, but I keep on cheering every day. Love, Cam. On Cam, thanks for that. And it's always good to remember your loved ones, especially leading up to Mother's Day, as well as Joan was a big CFL fan. And I get it, 3 years, man. Time flies, so hopefully you have many other positive memories of Joan, especially on Positive Friday. Let's get to Connor Halley, Sports 1440 update, brought to you by Hire Good. For professional property services you can feel good about, get Hire Good. Site cleanup, debris removal, seasonal maintenance, and more. Check out hiregood.ca. Stable jobs create stable lives at Hire Good.
The Sports 1440 update.
The Hart finalists were announced earlier today. No surprise, Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, and Nikita Kucherov all a chance to win the NHL's most valuable player on the ice tonight. Canadian Sabres from Buffalo. Puck drop 5 o'clock. Buffalo leading 1-0. Then at 7:30, Golden Knights and Ducks with that series tied at a game apiece in the association. The Knicks looking to take a 3-0 series lead over the Sixers at 5 at 7:30. Spurs Timberwolves meeting, that series tied at a game each. Major League Baseball, Blue Jays taking on the Angels just after 5 o'clock. We'll join that game in progress on our AM feed here on Sports 1440. Elsewhere, Athletics said the Baltimore Red Sox host the Rays, Twins, Guardians, Royals, Tigers, the Yankees, and Milwaukee. Mariners taking on the White Sox. Padres host the Cards. Braves in LA, and the Giants take on the Pirates. PWHL action tonight. 2 games as their playoffs roll on. It's game 3 between Boston and Ottawa at 5. Series tied at a game apiece, and then Montreal looking to win their second in as many nights when they take on Minnesota, leading 2-1. From the NFL, New York Jets running back Breece Hall, who was given the franchise tag on May 3rd, has agreed to a 3-year, $45 million contract extension. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll ask 5 questions and be joined by Craig Button from the NHL on TSN. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Every day.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Everything is going to be okay. If your debt has you feeling like you're in a free fall, you have options. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. Becoming debt-free is possible, and a personal bankruptcy or consumer proposal will get you there. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. You'll learn how a consumer proposal allows you to eliminate your debt by paying a percentage of the amount owed without interest. At Faber, we'll tackle your debt.
McValue breakfast meals are $5 plus tax every day. Get a sausage McMuffin, bagel with cream cheese product, or breakfast burrito with hash brown and small coffee, all for just $5 plus taxes. Available until 11 a.m. at Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
Start your day with a blast of sports. Kevin Carius, along with Brandon Douglas, brings the fire, the fun, and the fearless takes. Weekdays, 7 to 11. Text Kevin, 883-401-1440. Mornings with Sports 1440.
Are you looking for safe and reliable transportation solutions for your wedding, corporate retreat, or golf trip? Look no further than Silent Rides, Alberta's premier charter bus company. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer 3 different sizes of units to cater to your needs, and we provide first-class service at affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. Hire Good provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Everybody loves a beautiful day in Edmonton. Hey, it's Jamie, and Green Drop Lawn Care is giving you one more reason to love the nice weather. Next Nice Day service. People always ask, how soon can Green Drop get here? Well, when you sign up with Next Nice Day service, we'll be there by tomorrow. Assuming Mother Nature cooperates, we'll be fertilizing and treating your weeds by the very next day. We'll even include Drought Fighter at no additional cost. Just another reason we have been Canada's lawn expert since 1979. Easy online signups only at greendrop.com.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. The goal of every one of the thousands of hair restoration procedures I've performed is a full, natural-looking head of hair. I work directly with my patients for the consultation, the procedure, and the follow-up, so we can achieve the best results possible. When people see what we accomplish, I don't want them to think, wow, great hair transplant. I want them to think,
Wow, great hair.
go to drvanceelliott.com and contact us today.
Throttle, open her up and get rolling to Harley-Davidson of Edmonton's open house Saturday, May 9th. Enter to win a new Harley-Davidson motorcycle and get in on the giveaways and door prizes. Come check out a huge selection of new and pre-owned bikes, riding gear, Harley t-shirts, and more. Don't miss it. This Saturday, May 9th at Harley-Davidson of Edmonton on the Yellowhead Trail. Kent family owned and operated since 1980. Details at hdedmonton.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. From weekend warriors to professional athletes, kids playing soccer to grandparents in the garden, rotator cuff tears and tendonitis to post-surgical knees and hips, we fix your body. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
It's after 4 o'clock. How are you? Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, and a lovely Friday afternoon. WHL kicks off tonight and the final. Everett taking on the PA Raiders. We got more NHL playoffs, NBA. The Jays are back in action. Can they hit some home runs? Can they get some hits? Who knows? Addison Barger sounds like he's going to return to the lineup tomorrow for the Blue Jays. So lots happening in the world of sports. We will get to Craig Button coming up in a little bit here on the show. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. You can email us or text us, excuse me. You can email us, Gregor at sports1440.ca. We got lots of text still firing in. We're going to get to our stats of the day coming up and more. Got to get to a few of these. Hey, Gregor, going with everyone's analogy, then Paul Maurice should be fired because his Selke winning best player Barkov was out and they missed the playoffs from the regulators. David does big circles. If you have a coach, it's a killer in your own zone. That one comes from Dallas. I think it's, there's a fine line. You got to play to a player's strengths. I understand that, but there's a time and a place for everything. And there you go. So, guys, bringing in a new coach will be harder on everyone, but Connor and Leon will lead them to nowhere from BG. I don't know what a coach does. Hey, the Oilers, I do think that next season, regardless of who the head coach is, I feel I would reduce. McDavid doesn't need to play 22 minutes, 59 seconds tonight. Just doesn't need to, right? Now, if your team was winning and in games early on in the season, that probably plays a factor. I understand it. If you're trailing, who are you going to play? It's 2-1. Who are you going to play down the stretch in the last 5 minutes? I get it. So how about play better as a team early? Guess what? And you don't have to do it. So that's going to be a factor. I don't discount that. But regardless, you got to figure out who your penalty killers are, And it should not involve Draisaitl or McDavid. I mentioned earlier about Pittsburgh when they won the Cups. Crosby and Malkin didn't kill penalties. Not at all. I looked at the playoff numbers. I looked at the regular season numbers. You don't need to. So find guys. And penalty killing is a lot about will, right? It's about continuity and reading off one another. Now, shorter training camp this year, but you have more practice time. But there's only 2 games max in training camp. But that's for everybody. It's not just the Oilers. And the thing about penalty kill is, though, if you look at it historically from year to year, there's like the power play. You get a good power play, lots of the teams will stay as a good power play team because it's the same guys and they know what they're doing. They got continuity and boom, it's awesome. Penalty kill, for whatever reason, doesn't have the same, we were a good penalty killing team. There's some, Carolina, but there's others that it'll fluctuate. And I was top 5. Now I'm in the middle of the pack. Now I'm back to top 5. Now I'm in the middle of the pack. That fluctuates more on penalty kills overall than it does in the power play. So could the Oilers penalty kill improve? Yeah. But it has been something that in the 11 years that McDavid's been in Edmonton, penalty kill is 20th. Goals against, 19th. Like, those are the main core issues of the team. So fix them. But a lot of that is a buy-in from the players. It can't. They've had lots of good coaches. Some guys who came here with defensive acumen. That's what they were made it on the NHL on. And it didn't work. So I wouldn't go to the low-hanging fruit of firing the coach. It's easy. It's convenient. I don't think it would. Now, you can change the coach. But if the players decide to commit, just like they did in Knobloch's first year, playing how he wanted, look what happens. Right? Remember where the Oilers were under Knobloch that first year? Right? Went to the Cup final. Second year, still pretty good. Cup final. But this past year, now maybe for a variety of reasons, emotional letdown, you lose 2. I get that lose 2 Stanley Cups is tough mentally for a group. I get it. I totally understand it. Read lots of books on psychology. I understand like that. And even though I understand it, I don't truly understand probably how painful it was. I get it. Right. And I get that at times Connor McDavid, he wants to win desperately. As he should. But that there's like the Oilers as a team, not just individual, but as a team, like they so badly want to win. And I think because they lost, that the pain of doing it's there. And so if you lose a game now, you're frustrated more. Now you're mad more than maybe you would be. Or if you win, you can't really enjoy it because it's not the Stanley Cup. So it can become a vicious cycle. And I think that's something that you have to find a way to say, hey, guys, yeah, we lost. But that's in the past. We can't change that. And if our only focus is we're fueled just by losing, I don't know if that can be enough to get you over because it becomes too stressful. And that's where I find they're at times. So there's got to be a way to dial down, not the intensity, but just you can have high expectations, but it can't be November 11th. Oh my God, we lost a game. We're not winning the cup because of that. Or we won a game. Yeah, it doesn't matter because we haven't won the cup. Right? It can't be that way.
Do high-strung teams win cups?
Well, I'm sure some guys on your team are high-strung.
But is the general mood in the room?
Like you look at Florida. Look at Florida was, you know what, like they seem to have a lot of fun. Now they had some personalities and characters and, you know, they had won the year before. So they're like, trust me, if Oilers had won one of those 2 cups, I believe the temperature would be turned down significantly. Just internal, not even outwardly. They still want to win again, but the need to win is different than wanting to win your first time, right? It just is. You don't feel the pressure of, oh my God, I have to win. It's like, now I really want to win. But now I feel like their whole motivation is we have to win. And I do believe there's a difference when we have to win than we really want to. Right? And I think it can wear on you for teams. And especially this, because like Connor's naturally wired tight anyway. He is, right? Like anybody, like look at the difference in Leon's end of season presser to Connor's and just in how they talk and their mannerisms and lots of things, right? It's just different. Right? Like they're different personalities. Not better, not wrong, just different. right? Leon's more like a man of the people in the room, where Connor is, like Connor's the greatest player and he's got lots of expectations and he's really high strung and he's a perfectionist, and none of those things are wrong, but like everybody's strengths can also be their weaknesses at times, right? Everybody, and it doesn't matter for you, like, what your strengths are, but some days your strength is a weakness.
You can't ask him to be the greatest modern day player and the most advanced player of them and be a cool, chill guy. I just don't think it's a fair ask of somebody. Like, can you smile more, Connor? Can you wave more? Can you be more fun? He's the way he is. And that's what allowed him to get to where he is too, which is somebody who doesn't really have an equivalent in the modern age.
Yeah, no, it's totally valid. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. It's time for our stats of the day, brought to you by All Star Construction. Founded in 2009, they shape and build Edmonton communities, focusing on power, gas, telecommunications, street lighting, and directional drilling. All Star Construction. So some stats of the day, and this one is quite the doozy when you consider. Now it's early in the year, and we were talking about Vladdy Guerrero, and Vladdy Guerrero, that guy's he's got a hit for a little bit more power. Then you look at, and you can say, so far in MLB this year, there's been over 346 players now who have hit a home run this year. One of them who has no home runs is Fernando Tatis Jr. This is a guy who's a 40 home run hitter, right? Like, I get that Luis Arias from the Giants, who's like the slappiest of slap hitters, doesn't have a home run. Fernando Tatis does not have a home run so far this season. That is a wild stat for me. Also, we talked about the Montreal Canadiens. So Cole Caulfield, 5-on-5 even strength score in the regular season, dynamite. In the playoffs, no goals, even strength in 8 games. No points in 8 games. 1 inner slot shot in 8 games at even strength, and only 9 totals. Cole Caulfield, who's one of the best scorers in the game, is basically averaging 1 even strength shot per game so far in the playoffs. He has 9 even strength shots through 8 games. I'm telling you, man, it is hard to score when you're not shooting. Right? Like, for any player. But even the best player, like, there's a reason why lots of the best shooters, they shoot a lot, because you're not going to score on an opportunity. It's not going to work. And that to me was stunning when you consider in the regular season, Cole Caulfield had 40 even strength goals. Basically, think about it. 40 and 81. It's 1 every second game. It's basically what he's averaging. He has none through 8 games. Now, good. The Habs won the first round. Dobish was great. Their defense was good. But Caulfield has no even strength goals. Demidov has no goals in the playoffs. And Slavkovsky has no even strength goals. He has 3 power play goals. They all came in the first game. So Slavkovsky, Caulfield, Demidov, in their last 7 games have combined for 0. Capital Z. 0 even strength goals for the Montreal Canadiens. If they're going to come back in that series against the Buffalo Sabres, they are going to need those guys to get going. It is just that simple. Also, we talked about it yesterday. The Cubs, how about this? Longest home winning streak in 91 years. Low Tide saw it live last time it happened. 15 straight home wins for the Cubbies. Last time that happened, 1935 for them, which is that's pretty impressive. Also, it's official. March Madness expanding. I'm not sure why, but they're going to 76 teams from 68. It's not a huge amount. I guess because there's a few extra dollars in it. I don't necessarily get it. So we'll see. How about this? When we're talking rivalries, as Drew Doughty said against Edmonton, it's not a rivalry because they always kick our ass. End quote. How about this? The OKC Thunder have beaten the Lakers by at least 15 points 5 times this season. That is the most wins against the Lakers by any team since the 1976 merger. So you're a Lakers fan and you're thinking, hey, you know what? Series doesn't start until you come home. OKC beats them for fun. And no one has beat them for fun like this, really, since the merger of the ABA and the NBA. So that's, there's your stats of the day across a few different leagues, brought to you by All Star Construction. We will take a quick break. Craig Button joins us next on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
McValue meals are here. Get the McD's you love for $5 plus tax every day with your choice of a McDouble, Junior Chicken, or Chicken Snack Wrap with small fries and small fountain drink. All for just $5 plus taxes. Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
The tents are up and the deals are out. The Brick's biggest sale of the season is on now. Pick up to 6% off clearance items in the tents. Sofas start at $3.99 and save up to 50% on select mattresses. Get a sofa, coffee table, mattress, bed frame, and dining set, all for less than $1,500. Only at the Brick's tent sale. See you in store for details and exclusion. The Brick, saving you more.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3, saving you more money with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Looking for a solid 4x4 that checks all the boxes? The 2026 Jeep Compass is in stock now at St. Albert Dodge, and this is a great value, starting from just $36,900. It's a Jeep, so you've got 4x4 capability, plus features like an 8.4-inch touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, active lane management, a Park View rear backup camera, and more. Over 30 in stock right now in just about every color you'd want. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
There's still time to book your tournament at the Ranch Golf and Country Club.
As one of Alberta's top tourney courses, the Ranch makes hosting fun and easy for any group or business. No matter how unique or unusual, they'll accommodate your vision for an event no one will soon forget.
Start planning your tournament today at their beautifully landscaped course on the outskirts of West Edmonton. On-site event coordinators are here to help, but hurry, availability is limited and booking fast.
Visit theranchgolf.com.
Debt can take over your life. The stress, the constant worry, it can feel like you're drowning. When people come to see me, they're often anxious and feeling hopeless. But when I explain how I can help them get out of debt, those feelings melt away. I'm Parveen Middleton, licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. I will create a personalized debt relief plan so you can move forward with confidence. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
My, this sushi is just exquisite.
And I am obsessed with these crab legs.
You must have spent the whole day in the kitchen preparing this feast for us. Or did I?
Entertain with unbelievable ease. The secret is Catch of the Week.
So you're telling me you were able to buy a ready-to-serve platter that is this fresh?
Catch of the Week, Edmonton's best seafood. Just off the Henday and Capilano, only 5 minutes from Sherwood Park. Details and directions online at catchoftheweekedmonton.com.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. It feels good to know your fund goes further at home. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Ewell, helping you finish your electrical project is their goal. From pot lights to electrical panels, the gear you need is at ewell.ca or in person at one of their Edmonton area locations. Ewell.ca, your partners in power.
Extra brass bonanza for you on a positive Friday. Jason Gregor Wanye Gretz, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Huge hit in that that Quebec Major Junior League final, I think. I'll see if they replay that. Is it going to be a headshot? Oh, jeez. That might be that could be a suspension. I would think. Ooh, mama caught him right on the button, and they are reviewing it on the ice. I'm guessing that's going to be a major penalty. Ouch! Never good. We don't like to see the headshot. You don't see them very often anymore. So when you see one, it's definitely kind of a little jarring because you don't see those type of hits very often. 833-401-1440. Hey guys, I'm not surprised that the small men of Montreal are getting manhandled. Well, Slavkovsky's a big dude. Demidov's not small either. Caulfield, you know what's interesting? Hey, playoff, you're right. The playoffs are different. And he wouldn't be the first guy because, well, and this is not his first time in the playoffs. First time in the playoffs as a rookie, he was great. So if you have an 8-game stretch where it's not good, but they're going to need him because that's just the truth. If you get to the playoffs with a 50-goal scorer, and now suddenly he's not even on pace to be a 20-goal scorer. Well, because right now he'd be on pace to be a 10-goal scorer, right? 1 goal in 8 games, 10 and 80. That's a pretty big void. Now Kirby Dach, on the other hand, has 3 goals in 8 games. He's playing great. This guy's on pace for 30. You're like, okay, this is awesome for us. But so it kind of goes both ways. But they will definitely need Caulfield here to get going. Now, scores all of a sudden could change quickly. He can get 2 goals tonight, but he'll need to get going for sure. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Got to, oh man, some of you texters are pretty funny. I got some stuff. Hey boys, it's Positive Friday. Remember when the Oilers won 16 in a row? I do remember that. Yes. Was it second longest winning streak in NHL history, bested only by the Penguins, who won 17 in a row. That was a wild time, man. Remember, like, seriously, you're kind of Oilers fans are just like, are they ever going to lose? Like, it was. There's some strange things. 16-game winning streak. Like, I'd confidently probably think never going to see that again, just because it's only ever happened twice in NHL history. Like, well, Columbus won 3 times because Columbus also won 16. So
even during that 16-game run, I remember people on X being like, "Oh yeah, but they barely even won Game 6." Like, there isn't enough you can do for some people. Even on a 16-game heater, people were second guessing the team.
Hey, Gregor, I love your questions and delivery, and the scrums are different than anyone else's, and also just as interesting as the answers. Also, watching this video reminded me of a hostage video. So he's showing when they had Podkolzin and Ingram after one of the games, right? And both guys had kind of got their beards going. I get the reference, Buck. He's kind of laughing, after a hostage, because you know what? You never get to shave, right? You're not necessarily treated very nice. And so it's a funny reference, I have to say. Funny. Hey, Greg, do you believe the players can play more consistent defensively? And what level of defense are we talking? Well, they don't need to be the Wild or the Devils, because that, like, you still have to stay true to what your strengths are. And the Oilers are going to be an offensive team. That's fine. I don't expect them to be 82 games, lock them down, or winning 3-2 every night, because no one does that. Even the best defensive teams don't do it every night. I get it. It's more so a lot about knowing the time to do it. And a lot of it comes even in the offensive zone with the blind turnover at the offensive zone blue line. That is puck management. I thought the Oilers did not manage the puck very well this year. It's not just about, okay, we're in our own zone. We're playing man-to-man. Sure, if you lose your guy in the low slot, yes, problem. Right? Like, there are some things. And some of the things I'm not 100% sold are going to be easy fixes. Right? Like, at this stage of his career, is Darnell Nurse going to become better positionally? Honestly, I don't know. You would like to think so. Like Connor McDavid said it in his press conference. Goes, I know it sounds strange, but even as veterans, we have to develop. To me, I would look at it. I would go through all those own goals this year and say, okay, what would we do different? Is there, because there was two for sure that I looked at and said, why is he in that position? That's not where he should be. Now, sometimes guys are going to go in a split second. You're going to go in the wrong. I get it. It happens. It's like boom, boom, play. But if you're always doing it, then you have to change your process to get. So if I want to go from A to get to B, what do I want to ensure I'm not doing when I'm going in that transition period? Right. So like when you watch even some of the goals that they're scoring, Darnell Nurse is in front of the net, big, strong guy. When was and here's my other kind of beef about Nurse. When was the last time Darnell Nurse snapped? Like really snapped? And why not? We see other guys do it around the league. So, so what? You got suspended in the playoffs. Who cares? It's a long time ago. That was 2023. And I'm not saying snap to get suspended, but just be like, because that can resonate. Same with Trent Frederick. Like you saw on, he's yelling, don't make me mad. I'm like, dude, what do you mean? Get mad sometimes. Now, you don't have to go fight Olivier. I would never, ever say go fight one of the top 5 guys in the league. Trent Frederick's not a great fighter. Very few guys can fight. Even the good fighters can barely fight Olivier, right? Like, I wouldn't do it. But more emotion. And I think having Doc around, he's the guy who seems to kind of like to stir it up. Good. But I'd like to see Darnell initiate more. And maybe it's just me, but I'm just tired of in a scrum, I put my hand up to the guy's face and I don't look at him. I'm just kind of done with that. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't like it. It's a small thing, and that's on the player. That's like, can a coach? I think a coach can encourage players to be more physical, but like look in the playoffs this year. Zach Hyman, we know Zach Hyman would like to be more physical. He's clearly hurt because he wasn't physical. No coach is telling him not to be physical. We all know that, right? So some of it is on the players and some of it's on injuries. But as far as what level, to me, it's just knowing the time and space and recognizing, you know what? Now's not the time for the fancy-dancy back pass in a 2-1 game or a 1-0 game 10 minutes into the first period. Right? Or if you're going to do it, you better know it's going to work. Right? It's only a bad play when it doesn't work. And they're not all going to work. But there are certain ones where you look and say, that was destined. It had like a 2% chance of working. Right? So and I do think they're aware because we've seen it. Like, look last year against Dallas and Vegas in the playoffs. How many turnovers and giveaways do they have? Like, hardly any. They just looked like we're comfortable playing a 2-1 game, a 0 game. No problem. Right? Now, they all work because they kind of blew out Dallas every game. Right? Like, they won every game in that series by 3 goals or more. So they got up. And they didn't relinquish the lead. And so that to me is no coach is all of a sudden, hey, we're up 2-0, guys. Let's go fancy-dancy. Right? Just keep attacking. Just be smart in how you attack. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. I know we get a lot of text about Darnell Nurse at forward. No. Like, I don't know why people think just ask Struddy, ask defense. So he's played his whole life, and now he's suddenly going to play forward. I know people use, Dustin Byfuglien. I'm like, yeah, Dustin Byfuglien had played forward before. Then he went to defense. Then he played forward for a very brief time, went back to defense. Same as Brent Burns. Guys have dabbled at it. It doesn't stick. Right? And I know they're like, yeah, but look at Anaheim. Yeah, So their guys playing wing on their fourth line, right? And that's about it now. Did he even play in the last game? I don't think so. So they got some guys healthy back, but again, that's not a recipe for success. It's not like that guy was like, oh my God, he's a difference maker there. So no, that is something that I have zero time for. It's not happening. So there you go. Hey, Gregor, is it bad that I'm happy about not planning my evenings based on when the Oilers play? Nice to be able to work in the yard. Seriously, my kids gained 2 years and I didn't even notice. Well, it is different, right? When you start to go deep in the playoffs, you kind of forget, like, oh my God, like there's a lot of other things. Like, how many of you have probably golfed more already this year than you did in the first 3 months last year? There's always pros and cons to it, right? Maybe you've went for more bike rides. Who knows? Maybe all your yard work's done a lot earlier. Like, I know I got all the raking done. I cleaned out all the gutters, everything much sooner. It doesn't feel like it's stressed. You're kind of like, oh, I guess I got to do something. I guess I got to do some work around here now. So, because I'll be honest, like, even like the playoff, like I watched the game last night. I have to tell you, that was not an overly exciting game. And it's my job. And so many of you are probably like, I ain't watching any of the playoffs. That's okay. But a lot of these games have kind of been meh this year for me. Like, and the other thing I'm done with, and I've talked about this, but I am done. No mas. This whole new trend in the NHL. There's two trends in the NHL that concern me right now. And I'm curious what your thoughts are. 833-401-1440. Number one, the new stick around my face, and suddenly, you know what? It's back and to the left. Like, did you earlier in the play? Did you see Cale Makar had a stick on top of his helmet? I want to mention, not in your face, top of your helmet. He got hit in the top of his helmet. Boom, everything goes back. Why? It didn't hit you in the face. You have a visor on. We're talking 8-inch difference where it hit you here. I get hit here. Ooh, I'm going, no. It's a new trend that the NHL's got to pipe down on that, because the one thing hockey fans did not like was soccer players embellishing. Never liked it. Embellishing does not need to come. Don't give me the gamesmanship BS. Done with it. The NHL needs to do a serious look at cracking down on the embellishment. And not just say, oh, we're going to give each player a penalty. Start making it so you're the one who you have a stick here and it touches you on the back of your helmet. But oh, now you're going back? Now, if you get a direct shot to the face, I get it. I understand it. But we're seeing guys get it right to the chops. Guy puts his hand up. He's not even doing the head back. It's lately where you see it and ooh, it's back, right? Like James Harden did the other day in basketball too, and everyone's mocking it. I'm like, hey guys, watch it in hockey. It's starting to creep in. I don't like that. And the other thing that I'm just done with, this whole thing where everybody gets into a scrum and now everybody just throws punches with their gloves on because they don't want to get 5-minute majors. I'm just like, no, that start handing out 2s and 10s. Honestly, it's become way too much in games. Like you're seeing 5 and they're wrestling around, and then some announcers like, oh, it's a brawl. It's not a brawl. It's not even a melee. It's a scrum. It's a pillow fight is what it is. So I'm not saying anybody has to fight. I just don't want to see this whole gloves on, running around. I'm grabbing you. Now I'm grabbing you. Oh, I'm going to wrestle you to the ground. It's just going to go on for minute after minute after minute. Like enough.
It's crazy to make them fight with the visors on. Like the danger of.
Well, that's why lots
somebody.
of guys are throwing uppercuts. Yeah. Well, you don't have to fight then, but just don't be just like the extent. We're talking some of these scrums are lasting now 90 seconds to 2 minutes and nothing's happening. That's all I know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's old school. Maybe I'm like Abe Simpson right now, just yelling at a cloud, but it seems like it's becoming too much. Maybe you're not watching it, but it's becoming too much. Cons, have you seen it? What do you notice? Are you with it or what?
I mean, I feel like that's just the direction we're going these days, right? Like not as tough as they used to be, not willing to maybe take the penalty or potentially injure themselves throwing punches. It is what it is. I mean, it's not my favorite thing, but I get it. I wanted to ask you a question, Gregor. What did you think of the Taylor Hall hit last night?
No, I had no issue with it. Watch it. Taylor Hall's committing to make the hit. The guy then falls down. You don't have time to react to that. I thought Dave Jackson, the former ref, put it perfect. He goes, hey, the game was getting heated. I get why it's a 2-minute minor. It's never a major. Like when you commit to go hitting and then the guy falls, you can't just stop. So no, that's not a major penalty.
I'm on the same page. Yeah, we talked about fantasy frenzy. Some people disagreed in like what's he supposed to do at that speed. I like the process that the NHL has now to go take a look at it, and I think they got the right call. So
totally made the right call because and I thought Dave Jackson did a great job of explaining it to people online because of course you know what, all the Flyer fans are freaking out, and he just says, hey guys, when you have to understand when you commit to deliver the hit and then suddenly the guy falls down, that's not on you. Like you committing to the hit isn't dangerous, right? It's a fast game and of course they always show it in slow motion and everyone's like, well, look how much time he has. I'm like, dude, you're doing it in like super slow motion, right? Like, dun, 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 dun. Like, yeah, great. So no, I didn't have a problem with it. I understand why they get him a 2-minute minor. The game looks like, hey, everybody's heated up here. The frustrations are boiling over. So here, let's try to calm it down. So it's very true. Guys, fake toughness is the worst. Not intimidating anyone with that nonsense from Andrew P. I would agree, man. I just feel like maybe enough's enough on that one. We'll try to track down. Is Butts doing the broadcast? Did he forget? Maybe that's
possible.
What he's doing.
Yeah,
maybe that's what he's doing. We'll see. We'll take a quick break. We'll return. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
A lot of you love hockey season. But when it comes to construction season, you're not as excited unless you work for GS Construction. It's true. As one season is winding down, ours is winding up with all sorts of great projects to make the city we live in better. And our team is hiring. GS Construction is scouting for pipe layers, topmen, and heavy equipment operators. So if you want to score a great job, visit gsconstruction.ca today.
Your protein drink should work as hard as you do. That's why Booster Juice is hitting the gym harder than ever, brother. Meet your new gym buddies, the Way Too Good and Green Gains Booster Mixers. 2 new ripped and refreshing menu options that bench some serious protein. Perfect for pre or post workout. Way Too Good and Green Gains Booster Mixers taste like motivation. So what are you waiting for? Let's go!
Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Hey, hon, I'm getting expressions and images to frame my hockey card collection in the man cave.
Perfect. I'll come with you and bring our wedding photos. For sports memorabilia and family treasures, think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Summer is calling. Is your vehicle ready for the road trip? Get ready for the season at Nisku Ford with offers that turn up the heat. Right now, you choose how you save. Finance your new vehicle with rates as low as 0%. Or choose massive cash rebates as high as $12,500. Whether you're hauling the boat or packing up the family, we have the Ford you need for your summer adventures. Start your summer upgrade at niskuford.ca. Nisku Ford, above expectations.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3. Saving you more money, with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
The puck is passed up through the neutral zone, and here's a breakaway. He's coming in hot. He shoots it. Oh no, a broken stick.
When it comes to performance, quality parts matter. Napa Auto Parts has all the reliable parts, tools, and more to keep your vehicle running like a playoff contender. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Portions of this hour brought to you by 01 Athletic Care. Injuries don't wait, and neither should you. 01 Athletic Care offers one-stop access to doctors, x-rays, and casting. It's expert musculoskeletal care covered by Alberta Health right in West Edmonton Mall. Move from injury to recovery. Book now at 01.ca. That's ZERONE.ca.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Positive Friday continues on. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, where tonight Lotto Max 70 million, 10 Max Millions, and 70 prizes of 100K. That is a lot of opportunities. Good luck at PlayAlberta.ca. And while you're there, of course, you can check out the Jason Gregor Show. I always have some Osboo specials for you. A little Sabres and Ducks combination tonight. We will see. And the Spurs. They, man, that could be, who knows? But that game 2 was a blowout. We'll see if the Timberwolves can bounce back, or the Spurs just kind of sleepwalk through game 1 and are now ready to go on cruise control. We shall see. And then finally, the series we all forgot that's actually still on. Finally, after a 3-day break, the Wild and the Avs. It's a must-win game for the Wild. You lose that game, all you're doing is your season's over. You just have to lose another game. But for all intents and purposes, it's over. That is a huge game that they need to win. Let's get to the con man now for 5 questions, brought to you by The Brick, where right now you can get a sofa, a coffee table, a mattress, a bed frame, and a dining set, all 5 for less than $1,500. It's the tent sale going on now at The Brick, brick.com. It's the last weekend, so get in.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, guys. Question number 1. Give me your top 3 in order of coaches you'd prefer to see leading the Oilers next year.
Well, now that Gregor's given me this excellent, rousing speech on Coach Knobloch, I don't think anybody else should be coaching the Oilers next year except for Coach Knobloch. 1, 2, and 3.
Well, you know where I stand on this, Cons. I'd say Knobloch. I guess if they have to, if they decide they're going to fire him, oh man.
This is why I asked, because I wanted to see who you guys would have as 2 and 3.
Well, the one guy I was actually thinking of that I thought would have been a really good coach, but he just got hired on in New York, would have been Rocky Thompson. Rocky Thompson's a really good coach. And but he actually just got a gig yesterday, so I'll take him off the list. I would go with the 2 coaches who have never won the Stanley Cup. Because if your goal for the Oilers is to win the Cup, then get a coach who hasn't won.
Question number 2. For the first time in a while, the Oilers will be represented at the World Championships. Does this impact how much you guys will tune into the annual event?
I usually watch Canada's game, so not going to change much. Timing obviously is a factor of when they're played, but yeah, I'll watch. I don't know if I'll watch it like that much more intensely. Like usually I'd watch a little bit of the Canada games, and then if you get to the playoffs, if they're in it, then I watch it.
This isn't the decade of darkness anymore, where we were just like itching to watch hockey in mid to late May with no snow on the ground. I think part of the thing this year is like a little bit of a detox. Maybe I watch like the finals.
That's fair. I used to love it. I remember getting up like when Anson Carter won it with the review and all that sort of thing. That it was always a good time for me. Question number 3 for you guys. Who will lose the game first? The Avs, Hurricanes, or Thunder? Side note, maybe name your team after nature because they're all doing well.
Well, that's a good question. I'll say the Avs. I think that they're playing the toughest opponent, so I'll go with them.
Yeah, I would go with the Avs too. Connor, what would you?
I'm going to say the Thunder. Rolling Thunder, baby. They're hot. Question number 4. The NFL will release their schedule next Thursday. It's become quite the event, videos, and all that sort of thing. What is the best game that you think the NFL could throw out there this season? And don't worry if they actually play or not. Just the 2 best teams, best matchup you think there is.
I'd be excited to watch Kansas City play Buffalo. Given the state of the game, Mahomes versus Josh Allen. That could be a good matchup to watch.
Good question. I will go. I'll go a little. I'm going to say Seahawks 49ers week 1. I don't even know when they're playing, but I'm going to say week.
That'll be a good one. I was going to say Seahawks Rams just because of the matchups they had last season. Final question for you guys. On this day in 1958, horror film Dracula was released. When I went to this video or the Wikipedia page, it had him listed as a legendary character. So I'm asking you guys, when it comes to legendary characters, I prevented the Wikipedia page. Which would you least like to run into in a back alley?
When I first saw Terminator 2 as a youth, and that police officer like came through the windshield, remember that? I was very concerned that this was going to happen one day. And I was like, we can't defeat Terminators operating with jello bones that reassemble when they're shattered into pieces. I would maintain that the police officer in Terminator 2 would not be somebody you'd like to run into in a back alley if he was looking for you. If he wasn't looking for you, you're fine.
Connor, who are you going with?
Well, I scrolled through here. Suchi Gumo.
Of course.
A giant shape-shifting spider. I don't like spiders. I caught one in our garage yesterday. I was going to be the nice guy, humane, and let it go. And then as soon as I threw it out there, I stomped it because I don't like spiders. So a giant shape-shifting one seems like it might be the worst.
Those are real too, right?
Tsuchigomo?
Yeah.
According to Japanese lore, yes.
No thanks.
Watch out.
Pass.
I was going through the list. There was lots that I was just laughing at, like the descriptions on some of them. Oh, like the moon rabbit, the rat king, phenomenon in which a number of rats become intertwined by their tails. Gross, but funny. I was like, who would I want to run into? How about the Serengei? He was the bull with the huge muscular body. Right, the bull steaming down you in the back alley, pretty tough. So I might go with him.
This list you sent over, none of these things are real, but the Terminator cop is real. That guy could actually get us. I'm not scared of some of these old. They're not scary.
The question was legendary creatures, not
Terminator 2.
Yeah, but he's not real. It's a movie. So.
An Azaban, a trickster raccoon spirit in Abenaki mythology. That's real?
Yeah.
I'm more concerned about
mythology. Maybe it happened.
I'm more concerned about the police officer in Terminator 2.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's lots of spiders in here for cons. He would be, if you're an arachnophobe, this would there'd be a list of things that scare. Like, yeah, it's quite funny. My son has 2 of his buddies who are scared of spiders. And the other day they're playing mini sticks, and it's that time of year, right? So you leave the door open sometimes, get fresh air, and spider comes in. Anyway, they're playing mini sticks, and and all of a sudden I just hear this like high pitched scream. I'm like, what is going on? And my son's laughing. These 2 guys are like, what's wrong? Like, spider. And I'm like, yeah. And I didn't know. I was just like, I was thinking like, what, we got some massive, Black Widow in here? Like, what's going on? No, like this thing was like tiny, man. Like I'm talking like this. If I fold up your index finger in the smallest little space there, that's about what the size of it. I'm like, dude, just get some baby. And they're like, no, but you can't really rationalize why they're scared of it. So I had to go pick it up, get rid of it, because they're like, can't play mini sticks if it's in here. And it was so funny to me. I've never seen, but when you have a fear, man, it's not rational. It's irrational. So I'm curious how many people are scared of spiders. Like legit, like I'm talking scared. Like they got their mini stick. Like they didn't even try to hit it with the mini stick. They're just like backing away.
I think it's one of those things you come pre-programmed as a human being to be scared of. Like, have you heard of the information's passed down from generation to generation? Like,
so you think if your dad's scared of spiders, you automatically do?
I think there's something in our past
Okay.
That you are born scared of small rodents and spiders.
All right.
It's like, how do you, like, animals know how to go outside and go to the bathroom immediately upon birth. They come pre-programmed. I think spiders is one of those things. Because there's no rational reason to be scared of spiders. They've never had an incident in their entire life with a spider, yet they're terrified of them.
I never thought about that deeply. That's Jack Annie, deep thoughts here.
Well,
I like it. We'll see.
There's a spider yokai, Connor, that can appear as a beautiful woman. I wouldn't be scared of her. I'd say, how you doing?
What if she had 8 limbs?
Well, it says beautiful woman.
Mm-hmm. All right. I think Cons would be he'd be scared of the Gaelic rooster. Right? Or the Basan, the fire-breathing chicken.
Those things are unpredictable.
Sounds
You don't know where they're
delicious.
going.
Yeah.
I'd have one of those for dinner.
Mm. Okay. Lots of text line. A lot of people are texting that they're scared of spiders. Like, all right. I didn't know. Like, I thought arachnophobia. Like, I remember the movie Arachnophobia.
Scary.
Very well done. But I thought it was like a very rare thing. Like, not like it wasn't that common. But based on the text line, it's pretty common.
And if you ask those people, have you ever had an encounter with a spider where you were bitten or maimed or possibly killed? They would probably say no. It's like they arrived programmed with that in them.
Hey guys, I lived in Thailand for more than a year. You have to learn how to deal with bugs and creepy crawlers. I had a baby spinning cobra in my swimming pool. Different parts of the world, man, 100%. Like there's just certain animals that it's like anything. If you're comfortable around it, it's no big deal. Like me being a farm kid, like I'd have some city people come around, man, and like they'd see a cow. And I'm like, dude, our cows are really tame. And they're like, nope. Like they were very hesitant, right? It's around chickens, like my brother, scared of chickens. Because when we were kids, he opened the door in the chicken house, and I think I was chasing the chickens around. He just happens to open the door, and one flew in his face. Like, I'm talking like scared. When he had kids, and they'd be like, Dad, can we go get the... I still remember. It's like his kids are 4 or 5, and they're in the chicken coop getting the eggs because he wouldn't go in. And like, my brother was like, eat fuck, guys. It's tough. Not chickens. No. Oh, God, it's hilarious to me. Hey, Buck, I just used to buy, well, hey, there's a little chicken here. Watch out. So, because now that's something that was traumatic, happened as a young kid. But still, I was just like, dude, it's not going to hurt you. Like, it's chicken. Like, there's nothing you can, they're not doing anything. They're not aggressive. They don't do anything. What are we worried about here? But nope.
I remember when I was flying over to Thailand to go backpacking, I was like, okay, listen, Wanye, it's going to be way different over there. There's going to be sights and smells and who the heck knows what, and spiders and bugs. Like, you have to either suspend all that for 6 weeks or you're not going to enjoy yourself. So, okay, I convinced myself. And when I went in the first night, we were in a bar, and I went to go to the bathroom, which had like a bamboo door, and I shut the bamboo door.
And there's spiders.
The size of a dinner plate. And I was like, okay, I was ready on the flight over, but I wasn't quite sure I was going to meet the king of the spiders.
They are big, right?
Huge.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. Awesome. Let's get a quick break. When we come back, Spec will join us. I'm curious, like, what's the weirdest phobia that people have? Like, I'm not even, no, I said phobia, not fetish. Okay. Let's clarify the two, because I don't want to get into that on a Positive Friday. But I'd just be curious, like something that you're like, that it's not rational, but you're scared of it. Like, people are scared of heights. Obviously, some people are scared of bees, spiders, snakes. Snakes are one that get people kind of irked, eek, don't like it. It's just like, what's a random, like chickens is one to me that I just don't get, but, so I understand something happened, chicken flew into you, but I'm like, hey, man, face your fears, go in the chicken coop. You realize it's not a big deal, but just be curious, does anybody have an irrational phobia on a Positive Friday? Come back, and if anything, we'll get some funny answers. We'll get to the con man and the sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. And finally, it has happened. 0% financing on heavy-duty trucks and 0% financing on all the half-tons. So, need a new truck. Why not? You saved all your money. You don't got to buy playoff tickets. Get a new truck. NorthgateGM.com.
The Sports 1440 update.
2 games tonight in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Sabres and Canadians from Buffalo, who leads 1 game to none. Then at 7:30, it's Golden Knights Ducks. That series tied at a game apiece. In the association at 5 o'clock, the Knicks trying to take a 3-0 series lead over the Sixers. Then at 7:30, Spurs and Timberwolves from Minneapolis. That series tied at a game apiece. In the majors, the Blue Jays taking on the Angels out in Toronto. First pitch in about 10 minutes' time. We'll join that game in progress here on Sports 1440's AM radio feed. Right now, Astros up on the Reds 2-0, and the Rockies beat the Phillies 1-0. Elsewhere, you'll have the Marlins and Nationals, Twins taking on the Guardians, Royals, Tigers, Yankees, Brewers, White Sox, Mariners. The Mets take on the Diamondbacks, Padres host the Cards, and the Braves head to LA. PWHL playoffs rolling on tonight. At 5 o'clock, you got Boston, Ottawa, Game 3, tied at a game each. Then at 6:30, it's Minnesota hosting Montreal. Montreal up 2-1 in that series. From the NFL, New York Jets running back Breece Hall agreeing to terms on a 3-year extension worth $45.75 million. In 4 seasons, Hall has compiled over 5,000 scrimmage yards, which ranks 14th in the league. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spectre of Rogers Sportsnet and Alan Mitchell, host of The Lowdown with Lowtide. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Oodle Noodle Origins.
In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudell, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the new world. At Ellis Island, Nudell was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as
Oodle Noodle. You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need: Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit JapaEquipment.com or stop our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
Smart, connected, community driven. Jason Gregor sets the standard for sports talk in Edmonton. Join the conversation on Sports 1440. Text Gregor 833-401-1440. Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. No one's ever accused car shopping to be fun. I mean, think about it. Awkward standoffs to get a price. Let me go talk to my manager. Dealers asking for your credit card, then melting your phone if you say no. See, not fun. At Northgate, I promise you a different experience. We make it fun. And you will like us, I promise. 0% financing, a great selection of new and pre-owned units. So for some fun, stop in today. 13215 97th Street or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Mr. Rooter gets attacked by a Canada goose.
Oh, look at that. Another on-time arrival. Nothing stops Mr. Rooter from plumbing on schedule. You gotta be kidding me. Hello, Mr. Goose. I'm Mr. Rooter. Okay, this is what you train for. Through rain, sleet, or goose, the pipes get fixed.
For a plumber who does whatever it takes, Mr. Rooter.
The tents are up and the deals are out. The Brick's biggest sale of the season is on now. Take up to 60% off clearance items in the tents. Sofas start at $3.99. And save up to 50% on select mattresses. Get a sofa, coffee table, mattress, bed frame, and dining set, all for less than $1,500. Only at the Brick's tent sale. See in store for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, Jersey barriers, and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned. Over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Oh, Canada. Jiffy Lube is here to keep you moving through mornings like these. Full synthetic oil changes, quality Pennzoil products, tire checks, battery tests, and everything else your car needs to get through our winters. Stop by Jiffy Lube for fast, easy, warranty-approved service. No appointment, no hassle. Just dependable service right when you need it. Jiffy Lube, keeping you moving through this.
Summer is calling. Is your vehicle ready for the road trip? Get ready for the season at Nisku Ford with offers that turn up the heat. Right now, you choose how you save. Finance your new vehicle with rates as low as 0%. Or choose massive cash rebates as high as $12,500. Whether you're hauling the boat or packing up the family, we have the Ford you need for your summer adventures. Start your summer upgrade at niskuford.ca. Nisku Ford, above expectations.
If you're passionate about golf, you probably already know, and you've been waiting. The Quarry is now open, and all 27 holes are in great shape. Book now, get geared up at the Pro Shop, and start swinging at the Quarry. Don't forget about the Granite Grill Restaurant, an unforgettable top-tier venue to host all your events. For rental details or to book your tee time, contact the Quarry today. Edmonton's most popular golf and event venue. Call 477-THE-Q and visit thequarryedmonton.com.
Novo Blinds is your home ice advantage for window coverings. Edmonton's own custom manufacturer with over 300 5-star reviews from homeowners, builders, and commercial contractors. Book a free in-home consultation at novoblinds.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.504 Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Man, I would say it happens more on Fridays than any other day when we get, text that's meant for someone else, but comes to us. And I always reply, but I don't like someone's like, hey, just parking outside, be in the door in a minute or two. And I'm like, park safe. Like, oh, thanks. I'm at the door. Well, we can't get you. We're on air. Oh, that's the best of those when guys are like, there's been a few that are just like, I think that's meant for someone else. But thankfully, no worries. Cons, do you have somebody that's supposed to be picking up a prize?
Yeah, that might be him.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
I'll go talk to him after.
Oh, so it actually was meant for us. Oh,
Park safe.
Even funny, yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, I love it. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Positive Friday to you. Lots going on, man. We're watching the QMJHL playoffs. We got NHL playoffs, WHL tonight. If you want to watch it, I'm telling you, if you are a fan of young defensemen, you will want to watch that series. And because you got probably two of the best defensemen in the WHL. You got Rudolph, who's going to be a first-round draft pick this year by PA. And then you have DuPont for Everett, and he's might be the number one pick next year. So it's good hockey if you're a fan of that. We got CFL training camps getting going tomorrow, of course, medicals, and then on the field Sunday. It's down at Clark. It's open to the fans if you want to go watch. Starts Sunday, and then of course they go every day next week. And then they got a pretty extensive training camp. Their first preseason game will be 2 weeks tomorrow, 23rd, and they rock and roll. Now, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. You can text us. Maybe Greg's, I can't understand. I'm scared of the dark. That'd be a tough one because, like, how do you go to sleep? Scared of the dark. It's one I don't get. It's like, you're scared of the dark. Would you sleep with a light on? That's just not good for you. Just naturally, it's not good for you to have a light. So maybe you have a candle in your room. I don't know.
Are you scared of the dark, or was one of your ancestors scared of the dark and passed that on to you because they got attacked by a panther?
Probably not. Let's get to Mark Spectre and the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists, and they are hiring, man. Things are heating up. They are busy. Lots of job opportunities. Hiring, whether you got a lot of experience for top men, pipe layers, or operators, or just looking to get in, go to gsconstruction.ca/careers. As Mark Spectre from Rogers Sportsnet joins us. Spec, good afternoon. How you doing, man?
Good, man. You bring up that Rudolph kid in PA. So my buddy's pipeline he's insulating down near Lacombe, Sylvan Lake area.
Yeah.
And he's texted me. He says, there's a guy here. I think it's his kid that he's playing in the Western League. His name's Rudolph. He's a defenseman. And Dad says he's pretty good, but I don't know. Every dad says he's good. What do you think, Spec? Is he any good? Because I don't pay much attention to Western League. So I go on Hockey DB and I see this kid who's a right shot defenseman, 6'3", 206 pounds at 18 years old, and he's got 78 points in 68 games this year. I text him back. I go, yeah, I think he's pretty good. he might even be a first round. Like, I don't know. I don't follow too much, but I'm like, this guy sounds like a first round pick. And now you're talking about him like,
oh no,
he's a first round pick to me, man. Maybe high.
Daxon. Oh yeah, no, he'd probably legit top 10 pick. No, he is a good player. Yeah, people in Lacombe are going to be pretty fired up. No, there's a lot of good defensemen in this draft, right? There's Rudolph, and then you got Albert Smits, of course. You got Keaton Verhoff. You got Carell's out of Prince George. So there's a Chase Reed is another one. There's a lot of good defensemen. Probably lots of them are going to go in the top 10, I would think, or top 15 for sure. So should be pretty good. But yeah, him and he is very good. And then of course there's a youngster in Everett who is projected to be the number 1 draft pick next year. So if you're an Oilers fan, you're like, I miss watching hockey. Well, you might want to check out the WHL final. And
I always think, Jay, about like when your team's down the road and you go, let's say you're the Oilers or you're Toronto or you're somebody, and you go, what we really need? We need a number 1 defenseman, or let's say you're the Kings and you need a number 1 center. Well, it's almost impossible to get one in the free agent market or by trade. If I got a number 1 center, I'm not trading him away. If I got a number 1 goalie, if I got a number 1 defenseman, right? Those are the 3 things. If you have them, you keep them. So to me, at the draft, if I know guys always want the sexy goal scoring winger, but I feel like if I can only get at the draft that goalie that I love, that top center, that top defenseman, maybe at the draft, that's what I should be drafting, right? Maybe I should, if one of these kids looks like he's going to be a legit number 1 defenseman one day, why aren't I drafting that guy now?
Oh, definitely. All right. Hey man, this is where this is where you make your money. This is your opportunity to make a huge contribution to your organization. And you make a good pick and away you go. And so, Gavin McKenna, Chase Reed, Stenberg, Verhoff, Carell's, Malhotra. And we look at it like the great part about it is I always chuckle when, somebody's, because people read the public available ones and they're like, well, this is exactly how it should go. And I'm like, no, these are the writer's opinion. That's their opinion. It's not the scout's opinion. Like, remember when, and I love Beckett Seneca's reaction. Even he was kind of like, what? When he went 3rd overall, but clearly the Ducks knew what they were doing. He's a hell of a player.
Yeah. Moritz Seider, right?
Yeah.
Seider he was all around the top 5 Norris vote here this year. And he was a surprise pick by Detroit because they have smart scouts and they found a really good player and they went off the board. So, I mean, it just seems to me that I don't want to, I know I'm oversimplifying it, but it seems to me like you can usually find wingers. The Panarin moves and 3 times. Marner moves. Matthews stays, right? Tater Hall's been all over the league. Eberle moved. Draisaitl and McDavid stay. I mean, for now. Like, to me, teams hang on tight to a great centerman, and somehow there's always wingers out there you can make a trade for. Am I off base with that?
Well, remember when Peter Shirley told us that wingers are hard to find? God, I'm still one of the funny. I'm like, what are you talking about? But yes, historically, but I'll say this, Spec. Look at the top defensemen who get moved, right? Guys like, go back to Chris Pronger and go through the lots of D-men Brent Burns moved around, right? Lots of D-men have moved around just as much. It all kind of varies on it. Goaltending, same thing. I think there's almost any guy that can move, but the thing is for defensemen historically, not always, hello Schaefer, usually the D-men might take a little bit longer. So I think some teams, if you get a forward, the opportunity for a quicker return is there, but I'm not sure that that's not necessarily the best either. But some GMs are like, man, I got to get a guy who can play because, some think job security, which is why I think at times like the constant turning over of GMs or such can lead to more bad decisions because some guys are thinking job preservation.
Oh, and they make trades that are job preservation. Look at Sheer Elliott. Did you bring him up at the end of his term in Edmonton? The trades he made then were, he must look back on those trades now and go, what the hell was I thinking? But he was in preservation mode. And you get teams where the owner thinks you're supposed to be getting playoff dates, and the owner budgeted for playoff dates, and your team ain't a playoff team. And there's a ton of pressure on that GM to deliver for that owner. And some owners play that card, and they play it hard, right? Mm-hmm. So I get it. Like, listen, heavy's the head that wears the crown. You want to be an NHL GM, you better be able to deal with pressure, not just from fans and radio newspaper guys like us, but from your owner above. And if you can't handle it, I guess you better get out of the kitchen, right?
Yeah, that's it's very true. The Canadians scored a minute 36 in. Lions probably going to want that goal back, and maybe that's something that gets them going because Spec, you look at the Habs, their top guys, man, they're shooting blanks. Cole Caulfield, no even strength goals all playoffs. Slafkovsky, no even strength goals. Demidov, no goals, right? Slafkovsky had a hat trick on the power play in game one, doesn't have a goal since. Caulfield has one goal. Like, you look at the Habs, hey, huge for Newhook to score here tonight, but it's going to be hard for them to win multiple series if you got too many, like 3 of your top 4 guys not going.
Those guys brought you there, right? Those guys got you there by and large. Caulfield 50 this year, didn't he? So, sure. You don't tell me that you can look at the 3 guys who scored you into the playoffs and then say, oh, we're fine if they don't score. No, you're not. Right? No, you're not. You're going to need those guys. Marty St. Louis knows that. Everybody knows that. So that's how this series is going to turn. If those guys could find their game, and I don't think you can, Jay, you can't just generalize and say, well, little guys in the playoffs. Slafkovsky's not a little guy.
No, not at all. Yeah, I agree.
He's a big, strong horse. I love the player. Like, there's a guy that picked him first overall, and there's a couple of years there where everyone said, oh, I don't know, Montreal. I think you blew your pick. Now I'm looking at that player. I love the player. So, but Demidov's got to figure it out. Like, it's nice to have a bunch of flash and dash. And Caulfield, when maybe the game's a little more wide open in the regular season and he's blasting from the wing like he does, like he could score from distance. That goal doesn't get scored as much in the playoffs. Sometimes you got to find a way to score other goals. And your first time through, it's a bit of a learning curve. And I got, they're good players like Demidov and Caulfield. I'm not here to tell you they won't figure it out, but I am here to say, hopefully they figure it out before they're golfing this year. It might be next year that they figure it out, right?
Yeah, well, you never know. And you
never know.
And what's crazy about the playoffs is they're not the first guy. Like, it's a small sample size and everything's heightened. And you know what? You lose a little bit of confidence. We've seen lots of good players have an average playoff run, right? Happens often. And so it's just historically, if it's 3 of your top 4 scorers, your odds of going deep, unless you think you're going to, ride Dobish, just like a rented mule the entire time, you're going to need a little bit more going. So we'll kind of see where that goes from that one.
Lots of guys. I mean, remember, Ebbs had a bad run his first playoff year. He got nothing done. He's an excellent player. The other guy was, if you go back and look at Pavel Datsyuk's
first 4.
15 or 20 playoff games or whatever the number is, he was totally unproductive. And we all questioned whether, how good is this guy? Well, he turned into Pavel Datsyuk. I think he was pretty good, right?
Yeah. 100%. Like, you look at Datsyuk, he had 6 points his first year in 21 games, then no points the next year, no goals in 12 games the next year, no goals. And so in his first 4 playoff years, he had 1 year where he scored a playoff goal.
There you go.
Right.
So that's and that's we're talking about Pavel Datsyuk here.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about Pavel Datsyuk, one of the great players of our generation. So, if we could probably cut Caulfield a little bit of slack here for his first playoff run, I think.
Well, no, but remember, this isn't his first because he played last year and he played again as a rookie. Okay. So he's had a few, but it does, just because you do it once doesn't guarantee it, right? Like he had one, and last year he was actually pretty productive. I think he had 3 goals or something in 5 games. And the Habs are they're out firing. It's 2-0 already for Montreal, so they have come ready to go tonight. The Ducks taking on Vegas. Home tonight. No McTavish for the Ducks. He didn't play in game 2. He's not going to play tonight. He's according to our guest. And the Ducks have looked way quicker, Spec. Like, obviously, like the injuries to Edmonton, you watch this series and you look and say, hey, like Anaheim looks much quicker than Vegas. And I'll be curious to see if they can rebound and somehow either slow them down or play faster. But through 2 games, the Ducks have looked like the much quicker team.
Yeah, well, that's raise your hand if you're surprised. You know, we watched the Oilers for the last 3 years have been quicker than Vegas. I mean, their record in that building. Last time I went in there, I think Edmonton lost that game, but I think they went in there with a 5-game winning streak in that building. I think they'd won like 10 of their last 12 in that building. Edmonton does great against Vegas, and the reason is they're quicker and they're faster. I get it. Beat up this year, Anaheim beats them fair and square. This isn't me making excuses. But if you're asking me, am I surprised in any way that the Anaheim Ducks are way quicker than Vegas? I am not surprised one bit, my friend, there. That's expected. And the trick for Vegas here is to figure out how to slow these guys down. They have to, you know, don't be something you're not. Don't say, oh, yeah, Anaheim's fast. Well, we'll be fast too. No. You get in a track meet with Anaheim, Vegas is dead. So they got to figure out how to beat them with the team they got and the roster they have. And I think we're kind of in a space, Jay, where we talked about with Edmonton, where I thought low scoring was going to be good for Vegas. And then Anaheim came out and beat them 3-1 the other night. And now I'm rethinking everything.
Yeah, no, it's true. Anaheim looked very good in that game. The Hart Trophy finalists were announced earlier today. No real surprises, I don't think, out of the trio.
No, not for me. I think that I know that was the trio that I had in the Hart Trophy voting.
Yeah, Kucherov, McKinnon, McDavid, for anybody just joining us.
Yes, that's right. And I know we're, as the PHWA, just so people out there know, we try to have our people not all reveal all of their ballots.
Well, you're not supposed to reveal any of them.
It wrecks the surprise, right?
Yes.
The minute the voting happens, you can go to our website and you can see how every single person voted on every single one. It's all going to be there, but you know, I can tell you those guys. I had those guys in my top 3, and that doesn't make me a genius. I think it was pretty evident, wasn't it?
Yes, I thought so. I think Celebrini would have been right in there. The wheels fell off a little bit down the stretch. No surprise, he was carrying the whole team, and so you slow down a little bit. But you look at all 3 are going to have different reasons why. You look at like Nathan McKinnon's 97 even strength points, like something that hasn't happened since 1991, and really, only Gretzky was a guy like he'd had 124 plus 6 times. The other guys, Lafleur, Curry, Esposito, Lemieux, McKinnon, they're all between 97 and 104. Like it is hard to do what he did at even strength this season. That's pretty impressive. And obviously, his goal for goal against differential. Like sometimes you see plus 57, you're like, okay, a lot of empty. No, you go look at him 5-on-5. It's pretty much there. Like he dominated the year. Kucherov had that stretch where he was unreal. McDavid obviously had a really good stretch, and when Draisaitl went down, was pretty good. Which leads me to the question, Spec. So, because that's what there's been a lot of talk since the season ended about. Draisaitl, McDavid together. Draisaitl, McDavid together. Do you think it's a good idea to start next year and play all year McDavid and Draisaitl on one line?
No, I don't ever think that's a good idea. Like I can't change my stripes now, and I know you can't either. You and me on the same side of this thing. We've been on this radio station for 5 years or 2 years, whatever it is, talking about how the Oilers are better when they play apart. Like that's how I think, and I'm speaking for you. I know that's how you think. Now, the theory that's being played this year is if we play them together, they only take up, like Draisaitl was saying at his press conference, we're going to play our 23 minutes, and then there's together at the same time, and then there's another 38 minutes for everybody else. So the theory is if you play them together, the rest of the team is more engaged. There's more minutes for the second, third, and fourth line to play. But I would say to you that if you play them apart, you engage your 4 other top 6 players quite a bit. Those guys are part of it. And then you figure out your third and fourth line. I think you're a better team with those two apart. And having the nuclear option when you're trailing 3-2 in the third period, if you play them together, you don't have the nuclear option. So I like them apart. What about you?
Oh, to me, it's a no-brainer. I look at Pittsburgh won 3 cups in 9 years. Crosby and Malkin didn't play together. Right? Now, the difference is, you know what they didn't do? They didn't kill penalties. Yeah, I don't need either one of them killing penalties. So the coach, the GM, your job is to ensure that you have penalty killers that do not involve McDavid or Draisaitl, full stop. You want to get guys more minutes, that's how you do it. I don't need their minutes there. Because the strength of those two is their offense. You don't have much offense on shorthanded. What are you talking, like 1 goal a year? Who cares?
Yeah.
To me, I don't. And the other thing is, I don't need my, because if you're not blocking shots, then you're not necessarily penalty killing the best way in today's game. So, I don't want my 2 best players blocking shots unnecessarily. I don't need it, right? It's and just the same as Evan Bouchard. Bouchard could be a good penalty killer. Great. I don't need him killing penalties. I'm sorry. He doesn't need to be killing penalties. Get 2 right shot guys. Connor Murphy, sign him. Play Ty Emberson, right? Play Ty Emberson. Then Bouchard will have more in the tank when he plays 5-on-5.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I would also say to you, so the theory is if you play them together, there's all this ice time for everybody else. I say you play them apart and you find the ice time for other guys on the shorthanded units. That's a place to find ice time for bottom 6 players and, bottom 4 defensemen. I totally agree with you. And I'll say it again. I've been saying it for a few years. There sure are a lot of games when the score's 4-1 and you get a power play that you could send some other guys over the board, not your first unit, for $1.45.
Yeah.
Like that's been a thing in Edmonton where no matter, I get it. When you're down, whip the horse. When you need the goal bad, get those guys out there. It's early in the game. It's a second period. It's close game. Play your top unit. I understand that. But boy, there's a lot of third periods out there when Edmonton's leading the hockey game by 2 or 3. You could play the second unit and find some of those minutes for the extra guys there. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I think that's I don't think that's unexpected or asking too much. So
right, spread the love, man. McDavid and Draisaitl are up. McDavid's on the ice every time when it's an empty net situation at the other end. It's a 1-goal game late. Maybe you want him on the ice because he's such a great player. But oh boy, some other guys could use AENG once in a while too, couldn't they?
Yeah, I get that. Most teams put their best guys that they feel that they're going to create the turnover because the game's not a lock at that point, right? So that part I don't even have a problem with. It's just, to me, it's the penalty kill overall, and it's also sometimes, your fourth line has a good shift. 20 seconds are on. They get an offensive zone face-off. They earned it. You can keep them out there every now and then, right? There can be different ways to ensure. Like, to me, McDavid's total ice time next year should average around 21 minutes. Whether that's 21 minutes and 2 seconds or 21 and 30, whatever. But there should be no 22 minutes and 59 seconds a game for McDavid. No chance.
Yeah, on average. 23.
Yes.
You should be able to shave 90 seconds off of that. 90 seconds is, that's 2 shifts. 2 45-second shifts, right?
Yeah.
You got to be able to find 2 45-second shifts for your third and fourth line. And, one thing I never always get is, does the coach love his first line so much that he obviously overplays them? Or does he hate his fourth line so much that he's afraid to play him? Like, if I give the coach a good fourth line, is it not going to matter if he just keeps leaning on McDavid? Like, I want to say, give your coach a proper fourth line and tell him to play the damn thing instead of always going back to the first line guys every single time. I think we don't have any cups here in McDavid's career. I think we should be fundamentally looking at how things are done here.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, we're not banging our head against the same wall every year. I think you got to take a deep dive into how you run this team, how you run your lines, how you play your players. And it's time to take a deep look here before we got nothing to look at anymore.
Yeah, totally fair. Spec, have a great weekend, my man. We will chat with you on Monday.
All right. Thanks, man.
It's Mark Spectre, the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction. Will return. LT joins us, and more update on the playoff games tonight. It's the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Noodle, 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 noodle. Noodle, 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 noodle. noodle nood noodle nood noodle nood oodle noodle nood. Noodle noodle nood noodle nood noodle nood oodle noodle nood.
Throw the load down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
What's that? Is that actually spring? Like no snow squalls or bad weather tomorrow? It's actually spring? Well, GS Construction welcomes the warmer weather because that means we can really get to work. Now, it doesn't matter if there was bad weather. This is our time to shine. But we can't do it without good people to do that work. That's why GS Construction is hiring pipe layers, topmen, and heavy equipment operators. If you want to join a team who loves their work, visit gsconstruction.ca today.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
From the first face-off to the finalist, Sports 1440 is your home for hockey talk. With live coverage, expert analysis, and pre- and post-game shows, we bring you closer to the game. Tune in 24/7, only on Sports 1440, Edmonton's sports station.
Your weekend hotspot is at On the Rocks.
Party with Edmonton's best bands every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And we got them all.
From the Varkels to Tallboy, Radioactive, Curves, the Brute Squad, Morningwood, Rockzilla, Punch Buggy, and more.
Plus, the guy who keeps the party going every weekend. DJ Kenny K on the ones and twos, live.
Get ready to have a good time this weekend.
Your bar, your party. You're On the Rocks.
On the Rocks.
Just Brab and 118th.
Novo Blinds is your home ice advantage for window coverings. Edmonton's own custom manufacturer with over 300 five-star reviews from homeowners, builders, and commercial contractors. Book a free in-home consultation at novoblinds.ca.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3, saving you more money with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
McValue breakfast meals are $5 plus tax every day. Get a sausage McMuffin, bagel with cream cheese product, or breakfast burrito with hash brown and small coffee, all for just $5. Plus taxes. Available until 11 a.m. at Canadian restaurants. Product availability varies. Prices exclude delivery.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Positive Friday continues on. How you doing? Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. As always, we appreciate you listening, watching the show as you make your way home for the weekend. Many of you going golfing, maybe hiking, biking. This is a perfect time to get outside and enjoy the lovely weather that we are having right now. So should be great. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. You can text us as we get to the oil report, brought to you by Go Auto. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, you name it, they got it at goauto.ca. As we welcome to the show, host of the Lowdown, noon to 2 weekdays on Sports 1440, Al Mitchell. LT, how you doing?
I'm very well. It is a beautiful day, great weekend on the way, as you described. It's going to be a lot of fun for everybody in Edmonton and area.
Oh God, yeah, I think it'll be good. Al, as you watch the playoffs into the second round, is there anything that has caught your eye that you're like didn't expect, or that you're rather excited about?
Well, I mean, I'm excited about the Buffalo-Montreal series. I'm hoping it goes deep and long because it's, two emerging teams and they're fun to watch. Montreal, last I checked, was up 2-0 in game 2. So I'm hoping for a long series. I think it will be. I was impressed with Anaheim. When Anaheim was here, they're big and fast and young, and I don't think that's going to get them out of the West. Honestly, I don't know that they beat Vegas, but you can see why teams like to have youth and size and speed on, not all the way through the roster, but marbled through the roster. And I love Savoy. I think Howard's got all kinds of skill. But you can see why the Oilers, might want to spend a little bit of time this summer seeing if they can add a Pud Colson, like a bigger guy who can skate on the wing, and because I think that they probably need that. They probably need somebody who is fast and like Kapanen, but maybe a younger guy too. Like sign Kapanen and then get another young big guy who can play along the wall.
Oh yeah, that would be nice for sure. Speaking of the Oilers, there's been some rumblings. People suggest, Stan Bowman. Obviously, there's no decision coming. They're in evaluation mode right now. They'll evaluate a lot of different things of the organization, which is smart. Obviously, you have to. I think you have to take a calm, concerted approach. I believe that firing the head coach would be just repeating what you've done in the past. And I outlined it today in my article at Oilersnation.com, from Todd McClellan to Ken Hitchcock to Dave Tippett to Jay Woodcroft to Chris Knobloch. You know what the main consistency is there, Al?
What?
Goals against average. Never really improved, right?
No.
Penalty kill, 79%, 75%, 81% Tippett, 77 Woodcroft, 79.2 Knobloch. And I know they had the one good year. So we have seen the coaches change over and over again. We've seen them blame the goalies over and over again. I think it'd be the same record, just somebody who's getting blamed different this time. Until the group collectively wants to change, I don't think it changes. Where do you come out?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I said that today, that, there's a lot of, they may make a change, but they did last year. They brought in different coaches, but they had Gulletson and Coffey with Knobloch, and then they changed it. So, I mean, I think, I know people are they want change, and change is interesting, and we can all talk about it. But I think if you bring back Knobloch and I don't know that it would be Coffey, but a defensive coach who can get this group together, and then I think McFarland was fine. I mean, the forwards seem to be doing okay. I'd like the gapping to be a little bit less. But your point is well taken. This team, they need to. People talk about systems, and they have systems, but you have to pay attention to them. In the last 11 games of the regular season, the Oilers scored 37, allowed 24 goals against in 11 games. You can win hockey games doing that. But they were playing a very consistent style. And then when Anaheim came in, they just stopped playing that, and they went back to chaos incorporated. The Oilers have to have better discipline, and that's you can say it's about the coaching, but at some point in time, these are veteran players. There's not a lot of Emerson improved this year. People talk about the coach and what he's responsible for. Well, Matt Savoy is a better player now than he was a year ago. So the coaching staff is helping where they can in terms of development. But I think if a veteran is having a bad year, Nurse had a very good playoff, but he was inconsistent during the year. That's a general manager thing, I think, because as soon as they got Connor Murphy, Nurse was playing better. So I know people want to blame somebody, and the coach is the easiest guy to fire. But I mean, they signed him to a 3-year deal that starts this year, last fall. I just think it sends a weird message that you're so mad at the guy that you loved a year ago that you move him away. And especially, as you say, with the history of coaching changes here, there's a lot more wrong than that. My sense is that if they return with Knobloch and not necessarily Coffey, but a more established group of veteran coaches, and maybe a guy like Gulletson who had a lot of experience, ended up being a head coach in the NHL this year, probably a plan that would work, and then you wouldn't lose, as you say, you wouldn't lose the consistency.
Yeah, LT joins. LT, the Elks and the rest of the league get going this weekend. What's your expectation for the green and gold this year?
Well, I filter everything through Declan now because he's out there helping the coach and do things and, making plans and helping with the draft. I'm kidding. But I feel really good about this team. Like I think they have a persona now. Like, they've got a veteran quarterback. There was a lot of soap opera around this team. The name change, the clear bags, the Canadian quarterback, and now we're just talking about football. And is this guy going to be good? And they had a reasonable draft. They had good free agency. They brought back guys. They've got a veteran quarterback, got a great running game. I feel like there's things you can talk about with this football team that are on the field, and maybe in the last couple of years we were talking more about off the field stuff. Seems as though the football people are back in charge.
Yes. No, that's fair. They definitely are. You got a lot of returning players on the defensive side of the ball, lots of returning players on offense. Some of the new offensive line obviously come in with lots of experience. And, I think there's a little bit more nastiness on their offensive line, specifically on the right side of the offensive line. And I think that's something that's important for your group. In any sport, man, you need a few guys that are they're dicks on game day. You just need it, right? And I go back to it. I'd like to see more of that from Nurse for Edmonton. If he's back next year, like haven't seen that part of his game, and I just think that there's, that's part of his element. So why isn't he doing it? All right, and challenge him as the head coach, challenge him as the GM, challenge him as a leader, somebody. Right, to say, hey, man, we need you more emotionally engaged in games. That's your way to contribute. So I look at the Elks, and I think their O-line will be a little bit more vicious, nasty this year, which will be good. The receiving core, Mac comes in. I'm not one who's sold that he's an automatic, game. He's had one really good year. So I got a little bit of a show me from him. Just yet, like 1 year doesn't make you great. It shows that you got the capabilities of it, but you got to do it for more than 1 year.
Yeah, and you said that when we were talking earlier about the Oilers coaching, it's the same with the Elks. Elks got a returning coach, and he knows what he wanted last year and didn't get, and that's all. Like you have to have some continuity, and you have to be able to say, okay, this guy was ready last year. We had him on teams, and now he's ready to start or at least play more. As part of the regular rotation, and you build, right, and I think that the thing about the Elks is it's just been a mess for a while, and now there's some traction, and now that the guy that there's people saying, well, last year I did this and this and this, and now I know how to prepare, and I have prepared, and I'm ready to roll, and that's really good because it's the Canadian Football League is a great league and it's very unique. So oftentimes you have folks come up from the U.S. and their first year is kind of a blur because the field is like a pretty massive one, and all of those things are a factor, and the rouge and stuff. So now you've got a little bit of experience, and you're going in the same direction, and you've improved in areas that you needed to. So now every camp is feeling that way. But I feel like the Elks are maybe they've got some traction when in previous years it seemed like they were, everything was new every year, and that's not a good idea.
Yes, it's very true. Al, are the Wild going to win a game in this series? Flyers, I don't think are going to win a game. I think the Hurricanes might be the first team in NHL history to win back-to-back sweeps in a 7-game series to start anyway. No team's ever done that. Started 8-0 in NHL history as far as 8-0 goes when it's a 2 7-game series. But where do you come out on the Wild? If Eriksson, Ek, and Brodin aren't in, are they done?
Man, it's going to be tough. And the thing about Colorado is they're deep and they're very, very good. And the goaltending was fine, and then you get through Dallas, and now all of a sudden maybe opening night was a little bit of disaster, and now you're trying to get to. I'll say they win one game, but I think it'll be 5. Colorado's just too strong. I think Colorado, Carolina, probably a good bet for the final right now.
Al, have a great weekend. Enjoy the football, enjoy the hockey, enjoy baseball, and enjoy Reiki now. Have a good
one. Okay. You too.
There you go. It's Al Mitchell, host of The Lowdown. We'll come back, wrap things up. Gregor Kruger, Pally, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, presented by our title sponsor, PlayAlberta.ca. Tonight, $70 million in Lotto Max. Get your tickets, PlayAlberta.ca.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. It feels good to know your fund goes further at home. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Your protein drink should work as hard as you do. That's why Booster Juice is hitting the gym harder than ever, brother. Meet your new gym buddies, the Way Too Good and Green Gains Booster Mixers. 2 new ripped and refreshing menu options that bench some serious protein. Perfect for pre or post-workout. Way Too Good and Green Gains Booster Mixers taste like motivation. So what are you waiting for? Let's go!
Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Get ready for a night of rock with the Gene Simmons Band. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. The Gene Simmons Band, performing your favorite classic hits. Monday, November 30th at Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Tickets on sale now at silenticecenter.com. Don't miss the Gene Simmons Band.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. No one's ever accused car shopping to be fun. I mean, think about it. Awkward standoffs to get a price. Let me go talk to my manager. Dealers asking for your credit card, then melting your phone if you say no. See, not fun. At Northgate, I promise you a different experience. We make it fun. And you will like us, I promise. 0% financing, a great selection of new and pre-owned units. So for some fun, stop in today. 13215 97th Street or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
The tents are up and the deals are out. The Brick's biggest sale of the season is on now. Pick up to 60% off clearance items in the tents. Sofas start at $3.99. And save up to 50% on select mattresses. Get a sofa, coffee table, mattress, bed frame, and dining set, all for less than $1,500. Only at the Brick's tent sale. See you in store for details and exclusion. The Brick, saving you more.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing. Tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3, saving you more money with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Euphoria is back, and it's only on Crave. The groundbreaking HBO original, Critics Call, one of the most explosive, heartbreaking, and entertaining shows on television, returns for a new season, starring Emmy winner Zendaya.
If you make a deal with the devil, there's no turning back.
A new chapter begins. The real world awaits, and their story changes forever.
Wherever these unlucky folk go, there's a cascade of trouble.
Euphoria, new season, stream now, only on Crave. Subscribe at crave.ca.
Vashon Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, Jersey barriers and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at VashonConcrete.com. Family owned. Over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at Cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Well, the Montreal Canadiens pretty happy with their first period performance tonight in Buffalo. They are leading 2-0 in the final moments of the first period. You also have tonight in the National Hockey League, the Ducks looking to go up 2-1. Meanwhile, MLB, the Jays, Cease's on the mound. So, you know, they're going to be getting a lot of strikeouts. Man, that guy just throws gas, and more gas. I think he's got 5 strikeouts so far through 2 2/3 scoreless game. You have in the NBA tonight, the Thunder are taking on the Lakers tomorrow. But tonight you have the Knicks and the 76ers. And early in Philly, it's a close game, tied at 35. And then later on tonight, Timberwolves going to try to bounce back after getting clobbered by 38 in game number 2. As mentioned, you look at the CFL and pretty sure that the Elks will be a better team record-wise than last season. Now, how much better? It's a great question. Deck, get your mic on because we're going to end up talking a little CFL. And I know you'll be down at camp. I'll be going next week as well. When you look at this Elks team, and then you look at all the moves around the league, BC, I think, fair to say, would they be like ranked number 1 for you in the West?
Yep. BC definitely number 1 in the West. Just like solely because, I shouldn't say solely because they got dynamic players, James Butler, Matthew Betts, but Nathan Rourke, best quarterback in the league, most important position. You got the best player. You deserve to be the number 1 ranked team.
Well, who do you have after that?
So my power rankings as it stand right now go BC. I think I'm going to give Saskatchewan the benefit of the doubt and have them number 2, even though I do think they took a significant backstep this offseason in free agency. Trevor Harris, obviously another year older, but core is there enough. They still have those game breakers, so I'll give them number 2. I think number 3 is a real debate. Maybe this is bias of being in the locker room, being down at practices, knowing the coaches, things like that. I'll give it to the Elks. I just think this is a core that came together in such a good way at the end of the season. And, you know, you look at the returning pieces, you look at the pieces they brought in, like every area of need was addressed. So I have the Elks number 3, and I would probably put Calgary number 4, Winnipeg number 5.
All right. Okay. I look at, like, what's interesting was, like, everybody had a winning record except the Elks last year in the West, right? Winnipeg's 10-8, Calgary, BC 11-7, Saskatchewan 12-6. Now Calgary got off to a great start, which surprised some people. You know, Saskatchewan, they kind of go as Trevor Harris goes, right? Can he stay healthy? That will be a question mark for sure. So the Elks are going to have to steal some points away from some of these teams, right? You know, obviously there's Ottawa. Toronto, I think might be the worst team in the league this year. Ottawa, I'm not sure they're going to be that good either. The West is probably going to be competitive. BC is very tough. And that's when health is going to become a factor. No question. The Elks got some pretty good depth, especially on the defense side of the ball. So is there any newcomers? Like, who's your top interested to watch list? And is there anybody that you could see making the starting lineup that you think would be a surprise?
Well, Darian Newell's the obvious one, and you've talked about him a little bit here this past week, not just because he's such a highly touted prospect, but because it's been a year away from football. Like staying in the gym, staying active is one thing, but actual game reps, being out there, like things like that, not being able to do that for a full year, like that really wears on a guy. Like that's a full year loss of, I don't want to call it your prime, but we'll say, essentially your prime or some of your prime athletic years. Like that can be a lot to overcome. But obviously the talent is so big for him. So he would be the one guy I'm keeping my eye on. The safety battle, I think, is really going to be interesting. Like Royce Mechie is a guy who I think had kind of been penciled in to be the safety of the future when he was signed up. So he started there last year. But Jalen Garnes and Kenny Logan are two guys who can really play that spot with not just high intensity, but obviously high quality. Then you look at the Sam linebacker position. You have those two guys who I just mentioned. There was a mention earlier today online that Jalen Williams is going to make a shout for that spot as well. And then you have Cordell Jackson, who prefers the Sam and is probably the best defensive player out of all of them because he was the Defensive Player of the Year nominee. So those would be the position battles I would look for outside of the obvious one, the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. On the how much better do you think the O-line's going to be? And how much better do you think the play calling is going to be?
Yeah, the play calling, I think it's going to be huge because like Jordan Maximic, he came in obviously well-versed offensive coordinator, came in with his own playbook, had to try and design everything around Trey's strengths, so a lot of read options, a lot of RPOs, things like that, and it didn't work. And when you kind of have to abandon ship like that 5 weeks into the season, obviously it's a little better than 12 or 13 weeks into the season, but you still have to abandon ship and you still have to change things up on the fly. So play calling is definitely going to be one I'm going to be interested in. The offensive line battle, I think it's going to be much improved. And I think like you just look at some of the pieces they brought in. Coulter Wood-Manzi, Carter O'Donnell with a full training camp and a full season worth of play, and then either Bordner or Murray. Like I just named 3 upgrades in 5 positions. Like if I told you anything, if I told you, hey, I'm going to make that computer 60% better, you'd be pretty excited about that. That's what's happening with the Elks offensive line at minimum.
And this just in, the Ant is going to play tonight for the Timberwolves. That is big news. And also Murakami just hit his 15th home run of the season. That guy is killing it. He's really the only reason to watch the White Sox, but he's pretty damn good. On behalf of Declan Kruger, Connor Halley, I'm Jason Gregor. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend, everybody. Please don't drink and drive. Don't be inebriated. Just get home safe, right? Don't get behind the wheel. Get home safe. Have some fun. Enjoy the sports. Enjoy the weather. We'll talk to you on Monday. Here's a con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by Go Auto, who not only have you great vehicles, they have a big heart. They've donated over $27 million to help various charities over there, and they continue to donate and get back where they work. GoAuto.ca. Good night.
This is a Sports 1440 update.